Welcome to The Real with Joseph Labman. I am Joseph Labman. Thank you for tuning in this episode of The Real, taking time out of your day to come watch this episode. I really appreciate that. If you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe for me. I'd really appreciate that as well. That's the best way you can support this channel and help me grow my content and grow this channel to where I'd like it to be. Everybody hit the like button for me on the way in on this video today. That also helps promote this video more in the algorithms, helps grow this channel more as well. Please share this content. I would really appreciate that. My guests would as well. If you would please share this episode with someone you know that maybe is interested in the topic we're talking about today. Please leave a comment below as well. We'd love to hear your guys' feedback. You can interact with myself and the guest on the panel and the live chat as well. Whatever we're talking about, just leave a comment there in the live chat. Pop in and say hello. We'll put it on the screen for you. And yeah, without further ado, let's get to the show. Welcome back to The Real with Joseph Labman. I am Joseph Lab. Welcome into The Real. If you're new here, please like, subscribe, and share. Shout out to all the new subscribers that have joined us this season. Appreciate all you guys and the new ones that have subscribed recently in the last week as well. Thank you for that. Also, we had our first high school football highlight video this week as well. I put out yesterday the holy war between Akron-Hoban and St. Edwards, the St. Edward Eagles, excuse me. Two Ohio powerhouses in the high school world. And if you aren't familiar with that, because I know we have a lot of national viewers now. I know people in Texas watch us, say they have the best high school football. People in Florida watch, California. Well, come check out some Ohio high school football. Go watch the video. It was a pretty crazy ending. And as you can see, I got my shirt on tonight. Go Knights. And yeah, check it out. But appreciate you guys for tuning in tonight. Let's get right to it. We have us momentarily. To give his thoughts. John's my old coach growing up. We won a national championship. You can see my medal back there. He was my coach. And John also has the champ has a big ladder match coming up next weekend. We're going to preview as well for you guys. So looking forward to that. But I'm going to give my quick take. Tori, good to see you. Said Kevin should be fired. Yeah, I'm sure we'll get a lot of this tonight. Good to see you, Tori. But let me get right to it tonight. So let's start here. Obviously, the Browns lost to the New England Patriots 32-13. I'm going to start with the stats. You know, and we have a lot of people in Berea that love stats, that run the team, and they love their analytics. So, you know, I'm gonna bring the stats tonight for them. You know, let's start here. First downs today: New England 23, the Browns 12. Total plays: New England 65, Browns 52. Total yards: New England 422 yards to the Browns 213. But listen to this: total drives 12 and 12, the same. So the same total drives. Yards per play: New England 6.5, Browns 4.1. Passing attempts. You know, I talk a lot about the Browns throwing the ball too much with a rookie quarterback. When you have Quinshon Judkins, you know, but let's just air it out. Remember, 52 times against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Just keep throwing the ball around the lot. The Browns today, 35 passing attempts, completed 21 of them for 4 yards an attempt, which is terrible. 2 interceptions thrown, 1 sack. And so he wasn't really pressured a whole lot today either. But, you know, still only 4 yards a pass attempt and 2 interceptions. New England only threw the ball 24 times, but very efficient, 8.2 yards an attempt and only 1 interception. And he was sacked 6 times. Myles Garrett had 5 of those. A career day for Myles, you know, but it didn't mean anything. Myles Garrett had 5 sacks. He still lost, you know, 32-13. Here we go. It was what I always talk about, the rushing attempts. The Browns, 16 rushes today, 4.3 yards an attempt for 68 yards. New England, remember, they only threw the ball 24 times. The Browns threw it 35 times. New England ran the ball 35 times, so they ran the ball the exact same amount of times the Browns threw it. And they got 5.1 yards an attempt and ran the ball for 177 yards against what's been one of the best defenses in the league this year against the rush. But it didn't matter because they committed to the run, and it took pressure off the rookie quarterback. Even when he made a mistake early, he was still able to settle in the second half and get a groove. And I think what you saw today, which is what a lot of people, and those stats are disgusting to look at. I can't even look at anymore. Jimmy Cleveland, good to see you. He said, before y'all even started, look back at Shadeur's first preseason game and tell me he can't accurately throw the ball downfield without interceptions. Jimmy, I'm going to get to that in a minute. Appreciate your donation, brother. Good to see you as always. But, yeah, we're going to get to Shadeur talk tonight as well because obviously that's going to be heating up over the bye week that we're officially in now. But, you know, this what I saw today in the first half was two teams going back and forth. Both teams turned the ball over. It was only 9-7 at the half. But what happened in the second half? The Browns at one point were getting outscored 21-0, 21 unanswered out of the half. The adjustments, the coaching is what I saw today. And this is why a lot of people on this show, including myself last year, said, hey, you had a guy in the building last year who maybe you should have kept around. And Mike Vrabel, maybe he was the guy to you know, after all these years with Stefanski and, you know, yeah, you made it far to the playoffs, but you got bounced in the playoffs. Maybe you should have reevaluated that. And Mike was interested in the job. If you remember this, you know, Mike Vrabel last year was asked by Tony Grossi here in Cleveland if he was ever asked about the job and if he was interested. Here's what Mike had to say back at the combine.
I didn't want to permanently consult in Cleveland for the rest of my career. Different position? No. Enjoyed my time. I appreciate Jimmy and Dee, entire Haslam family, Andrew and Kevin, and the relationships that I got to make there. It's been fun to see those individuals. I walked into the suite last night in between interviews, and they said, "Oh, get out of here." I said, "I don't work for you guys anymore. You can't tell me what to do." So it was fun just to see them, but there was no conversation about any long-term plans there. I would have, listened because I didn't have a job at the time.
I would have listened because I didn't have a job at the time. But no, the Browns said, you know what, Mike, you're too masculine for us, I guess. Maybe he's just too masculine, or, he's smarter than all the, analytics people in the building. We decided to stick with Kevin Stefanski. And here's what Stefanski had to say after today's loss, as usual.
Potentially exploring somebody else going to.
Yeah, we have to look at everything. I think.
And does everything else include potentially exploring somebody else going to?
Yeah, we have to look at everything. I think.
We have to look at everything. He's got to look at the tape. He's got to look at everything. He's got to look at everything. That's it. Good to see you, bro. So this is too much, bro. I know, dude. This season, it is too much. I feel you. And all you guys that came over here as Shadeur fans, you're now realizing what we as Browns fans have suffered through our entire lives, really, especially in the last 20 years and 30 years, rather. But so, again, Stefanski, the same old stuff as usual. We just got to look at the tape. We just got to do better. Just got to be better. But we let a guy, Mike Vrabel, who in 1 year in New England has already turned him into a 6-2 ball club through 8 weeks, has a young quarterback in Drake May, and really has a lot of the same roster that he inherited. I mean, the same receivers they had last year, Mac Hollins, I believe, or Booty, or whatever the guy's name is from LSU. They have a lot of the same players he just brought in. They had Drake May. They drafted well. And in 1 year, he's already turned them around. And they're in the same division as the Buffalo Bills. And right now, they look better than the Bills in some people's eyes. They look pretty good. They look like the team that's going to be competing for championships again here pretty soon. They hired one guy who came in there with a plan of philosophy, knows football in and out, and can develop guys and maximize guys to their potential. And look what happened. And you just look at the attitude of the team. Look at the halftime adjustments. The Browns' halftime adjustments, Stefanski's whole career, have never been great. Never been great. And one thing I didn't know about this week that I heard from friend of the show, Stump Mitchell, and shout out to those guys, him and Roll Goldstein, the Stump Talk podcast. You guys remember Stump Mitchell, former Browns running back coach who got fired with Alex Van Pelt did 2 years ago, really for no reason. He mentioned a guy named Ashton Grant, who was an assistant coach here on staff in Cleveland during Stefanski's whole time here. And everybody who was here with Ashton Grant said that he was a phenomenal coach and a guy who should have been upgraded within the organization. Probably should have been the offensive coordinator or a quarterback coach at least. Well, Mike Vrabel comes here for 1 year and behind the scenes gets to know the guy, and he takes the guy with him to New England. Now he's their quarterback coach. And how's that going for him? Pretty good. Their quarterback looks pretty good. And so, again, not only did you not hire Mike Vrabel when you had the chance, but also an assistant you had in-house, Mike Vrabel saw the value with that guy. Clearly we didn't, because we just kept him in the same role. And he said, hey, I want to take that guy with me after just spending 1 year with him when we had Ashton Grant here for 5 years. And, that was the point Stump was making was, how come they didn't upgrade this guy? How did they let that guy walk out the door? Everybody else behind the scenes saw this Ashton Grant was going to be a phenomenal coach. Mike Vrabel comes for 1 year and says, hey, I'm going to take him to New England with me as my quarterback coach. And, again, looks pretty good. Looks pretty good. Looks like a great hire. The quarterback's playing pretty well. Also with the Browns today, you know, this one it got even more worse. Myles Garrett during the game today. If you guys didn't see, Mr. Garrett, he was not happy during the game. Like you see here, it comes off on the sideline. You'll see right here in a second. I'm sure you guys saw a lot of you saw this live today. But here's Myles. You see slamming his helmet up against the bench, pissed, screaming and yelling. Five. You can see there 5 sacks, single game franchise record, but it didn't even matter. And they asked Myles about it after the game. And Myles said that he would give away all those sacks for a Browns win. He's frustrated. He's tired of it. And rightfully so. So now you have guys in the locker room, some of the leaders of the team, they're really starting to lash out on the sideline. Here's Garrett today.
How do you feel about your performance at? Does the loss diminish how you feel about your performance today at all, I guess?
I would throw the whole performance away for a win.
How hard is it? How tough is it for you guys to have such good defense for you to be out there getting 5 sacks and putting the team on your back and just to not have any offense to go with it?
It doesn't get any easier. Each week you ask me, so.
How do you feel about your performance at?
Doesn't get any easier. That's not good. And again, I know a lot of people in the Cleveland media tonight are put out the sentiment, well, you guys expected this. You should expect this coming into the year. We told you articles in the preseason are going to be crappy and this and that, but that's not winning football. That's not winning. You're not going to build a winning team, rather, with that mindset. That's a loser mentality. And how do you build a culture? How do you keep guys' morale up? How do you get guys to want to come here in free agency, even if you have more money you could spend against other teams to get them? It's not going to happen. You have to build those habits now, those winning culture habits now. You have to build a franchise now with good building blocks. You don't just chalk up the year and say, well, we just have the right talent and just, who says these guys will be the ones to develop the talent? I don't think any of these guys right now in our offensive staff, with Kevin Stefanski as a head coach and our GM Andrew Berry, how can we be so sure these guys are going to get the quarterback position right and develop them? What says where can you point to shows they've done that? They haven't. And in fact, it's been the opposite. They've never done it. And you got a guy like Baker Mayfield. He came here, and Stefanski inherited him. And according to Stub Mitchell, Stefanski just never really liked Baker Mayfield like that, and they never really got along well. And you saw Baker's last year here, and it was an absolute train wreck. A lot of people wrote the guy off and said, he's a problem. It was always Baker. You go back to 2021, the narrative in the media was, well, the Browns need to upgrade from Baker Mayfield. He's not good enough. It's this and that. The guy goes to Carolina. His career kind of hits like a wall, a low point. And then he finds real stability with Sean McVay with LA for a shortstop. Then he goes to Tampa, and he looks like one of the top 5 quarterbacks in the NFL right now, who very well could lead a team to a Super Bowl one day. But it was his fault when he was here. It's always everybody else's fault but these guys'. They never take any accountability, nothing. And, again, how's the rookie quarterback they took this year in the 3rd round developing? Not great, honestly. He hasn't shown any improvement any week, Dylan Gabriel. And I don't think it's all Dylan's fault. I think Dylan's just a product of the situation, the environment he's in. And, today, 2 interceptions he threw today. And then the safety, this play right here is one of the worst plays I've seen a quarterback make in a long time. So they get a turnover. You see now they're down on the 2-yard line. Number one, it's 2nd and 9. Why are we throwing the ball out of the end zone, as always? That's just, I'm curious about that. But, let's put a rookie quarterback who's, barely 6 feet or 5'11", back in the end zone. And he throws it way out of bounds. Nobody's in the area. I don't know if he could even see over the line of scrimmage at him. I think he assumed somebody was supposed to be in the area, but he couldn't see, maybe. But again, he got put in this situation by his head coach, his play caller, and the Browns get a safety out of that. As you can see right here from the referee, he calls a safety. And you see Dylan there thought somebody was in the area, but he wasn't. And so, again, I point this all back to the head coach. I get a lot of the fire Stefanski stuff, and I agree with it because I just don't. The Browns have no culture. They have no. There's nothing to really build off of with Stefanski. What does he do well? Honestly, can somebody point to me? What does he really do well? Do the guys in the locker room, some of them like him? Yeah, I'm sure. But is he respected? I don't know. Do the guys really get up for Stefanski? I don't see that. I see the complete opposite. I see a team that really, when they get down, they're down and out. They don't come back from game. This team right here this year would never come back in a game because it wouldn't happen. The morale just seems so low. It's so depressive. I was out today watching the game on my phone, and I saw so many Browns fans out at a popular place here in Northeast Ohio with all their gear on during the game, but they're not watching the game. Why is that? I mean, think about that. They're not even watching the game. I saw a guy with a Shadeur Sanders jersey on. So maybe that's what people are waiting for. But I saw everybody at this place today had Browns gear on. A lot of them. So I'd say 80% of them. It was a very busy day at this place. Very popular place here in Northeast Ohio. And nobody was at home watching the game as it was on because they expect to lose. Losing is toxic. It's bad for the morale in the locker room, for the coaching staff, but it affects the fans too. And if you're Jimmy Haslam, how can you sit back and look at this and say, this is healthy for your franchise and for everything, just everything going forward? How could you recover from this? You can't just say, well, we'll just tank for draft picks. We made a bad trade, which is what he said this week, by the way. They asked about Kevin Stefanski. You can see right here. Here's what Jimmy's comments this week. Quote, Kevin's done a really good job with this. We've had some tough breaks, Haslam said. He said a big trade we made didn't work out. And, we're all suffering from that. Kevin, I thought, really did a great job of rallying the troops last week at a really critical time. You find out about leaders when things are bad, not when they're good. And he did a good job last week. Yeah, he did a good job because it was a monsoon in Cleveland against Mike McDaniels, a guy who shouldn't be a head coach, who was a spreadsheets guy in San Francisco. And he was forced to run the ball because of the weather. And what do you know? They actually they ran the ball, I think, more than they threw it last week. At least committed to the run. And look how they played last week because he was forced to because of the weather. But, when you ask Jimmy Haslam about it, Kevin's a great leader. It was all Kevin last week. Not that he was going against arguably the worst team in the NFL and the Dolphins, whose players to quit on their head coach. And you just look at their head coach. Does that guy belong on a sideline? Probably not as a head coach. And it was a monsoon, forced him to throw the ball. But we're going to take that win last week and make it like Kevin's just, he's just some savant. He's just some great leader. And then he comes out there today on the road in perfect weather and the next week against the guy you let walk out of the building, and you saw the result. It wasn't even close. And the second half showed it coming out of that half. Again, the halftime adjustments, which team looked more fired up, more prepared, and just, the will to win and just the design. I mean, the development of the players from year 1 to year 2. Look at Drake May. I mean, it's not even close. Not even close at all. And so, but, again, ask Jimmy. There's no problem. Let's get to some of these comments here real quick before I get my guest up here. Super Saiyan, kind of interested in seeing if he goes after A.J. Brown since he had him with the Titans. Oh, you're talking about Mike Vrabel? Yeah, that would be interesting. That would be interesting. I know the Eagles said, though, they're not really interested in trading him, but we'll see how that goes. They always say something and it goes another way. Will Smith says, Kevin Stefanski, it's the same story every week. I'm a Vikings fan, and I've been tracking the Browns since Shadeur was drafted. I've never seen anything like the Browns. Been watching football for 55 years. Well, yeah, you've probably seen the worst you've ever seen this year. I guarantee you that in 55 years. Welcome to Cleveland. Shitty professional football. Well, at least they got the Jets after the bye. Yeah, the toilet bowl is coming up next week, folks. Get ready for it. John 3570 says, we are perfectly fine with Stefanski keeping Dollar General in. The Cleveland Clowns are getting exactly what they deserve. Let QB number 12 sit. We good over here. Yeah, listen, the supercomputer has a virus. All right, he does not look good. He's not processing well. It's time to get Shadeur in. I'm not sure what else we're waiting for. We need to evaluate these guys and see what they got. I think you kind of see what you got with Dylan Gabriel through 4 weeks. You got to bye next week. Start giving Shadeur first team reps next week at the bye. They should, I think, and get him ready to get out there and play. You got 2 first-round picks next year, and I'll be honest, there's no real quarterback coming out in the draft next year that I would say is like you got to have them. You got to tank for them. There isn't. So let's see what Shadeur's got. I mean, what do you have to lose at this point? B. Skrills, good to see you, brother. He said, thank God for the Cavaliers 2-1 over the Bucks tonight. That's right. Go Cavs. Myles Garrett finally crashed out. I don't blame him. Kevin Stink Stefanski is a joke. Brian Snyder, good to see. Said our coach is ideal for the tradition the Browns have. Yeah, you're right, Snyder. He really does have that. Definitely, yeah, he definitely does fit the tradition. That's a good point. Joining me now, you guys. I'll start with the two guys you guys have always seen. Always keeping it real. You know, I'm sure he'll have a rant tonight. Jersey's in the house. Jersey.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening. Also joining us tonight, straight from Detroit, straight out of Detroit, the Lions fan, a Wolverines fan, Chris Gerganis. Chris, what's happening?
What's going on? What's going on? What's going on?
Also joining us tonight, we have a very special guest. The champ is here, Jersey. You know the champ, don't you?
I know the champ very well.
The champ is here. John Potok is in the house.
The champ is here.
But that's what. But fellas, I appreciate you for waiting, and we'll go around the horn here. We'll start with the Browns first before we get to your ladder match here in a little bit, the champ. And so, Jersey, we'll start with you, and then we'll go John and Chris. Your reaction to today's game?
Same old shit. I mean, obviously didn't watch it. I wasn't spending my Sunday watching that shit, but I noticed the same. You know, we were together and we saw all these people wearing Browns gear, but nobody watching the game. And I can't blame them. I mean, we're doing the same thing everybody else is doing, but it's just here when you see Myles Garrett lashing out like that, as controlled as he usually is on the sideline and post game, that tells you so. I mean, that really starts to tell you something. And I don't know what the hell they're waiting on. I can't believe what Jimmy Haslam said about Stefanski. I mean, I don't know if that's just Jimmy Haslam trying to buy himself time, trying to cover his own ass. I don't know, but
he did a really good. He showed a lot last week against Mike McDaniels in a monsoon jersey.
Here, a high school team could have beat that Dolphins. Mike McDaniels, that dude. I say this all the time. I don't know how in the hell this guy ever got involved in football. He's an abomination to the game of football. I mean, he put a picture up of this guy.
Oh, I'm getting to it.
This guy. What the hell is going on in 2025 or even before that, where this guy got a gig? You know, supposedly leading a football team. I mean, so we're going to hang our hat on beating Mike McDaniels and a team actually worse than us and from warm climate coming up here playing and shit. Look at that.
That's who we're celebrating beating. This guy.
Look at that. Look at that guy.
He had his sunglasses on. It was dark as hell outside and raining.
$110 soaking wet, just out there leading those men. So, again, this is what we're hanging our hat on. Jimmy Haslam, what the hell are you talking about, man? I mean, that's the highlight of the season. When the highlight of the season is you beat that guy, we're fucked up. So, it's the same old shit. I mean, as far as Dylan Gabriel, I don't think he could see the flat on that play. When you showed me, when I watched that highlight, I'm telling you, that guy, I've always said it. You said barely 6 foot, 5'11". That's generous. That guy is nowhere near that. I don't even know if he's tall as me, and I'm 5'9". So I really don't think he saw the flat out there, and that's why he threw the ball. He thought somebody was going to be there and couldn't see. So
here's the play right here again for you.
I don't know if you guys noticed. I just got off the phone with the athletic director at Cuyahoga Falls High School, and he said he just got off the phone with Kevin Stefanski to give him next week's rundown and plays. The good news is their band is amazing.
yeah,
that's what it is too.
Yeah, they're going to
get a band. They'll be good then.
Yeah, yeah. Here's the play right here again. Here's the safety play, you guys. The jersey's referring to, and he just throws away out of bounds on his 2-yard line, and nobody's in the area. He thought somebody was in the area, but you could see their jersey when he looks. I think I agree with you. I don't know if he could see all the way down the field.
I'm telling you, he thought someone would be there and he couldn't see, and that's why he just threw it. And again, what are you throwing the ball for there? I mean, I guess the computer said so. The analytics said, "Here, let's throw it at 2nd and 9 from the 1-yard line." Freaking 5'8" quarterback, and
Yeah,
that was the result.
Even the people, Dylan is 5'10" or less. Dylan is not a starting quarterback. He should be a practice squad QB at best. And Nick Wade Boss, thanks for joining. So this is professional football, not a gas station chain. You got to kind of just win and not draft and play an undersized, unsought after quarterback.
Either way, it's it's time to change it out. Let's put in Sanders and see what we got there. But I don't think it's gonna make a difference because if you had Tom Brady in your prime, it's gonna be a disaster because the play calling. I still here it's just the lack of coaching on the offensive side. No one gets up for that dude. I had somebody recently I was just talking to. They disagreed with me on that. They thought he was a great coach. I'm just sitting there thinking, like, what the hell are you? I mean,
Who thought that?
I can't remember who it is. Somebody who told me that. I mean, it was just it was a conversation. I see. I think he's a great
guy
coach.
Waiting outside for some food.
I mean, I said, how in the hell could you think that this guy, his demeanor, he just doesn't have the demeanor. I mean, the proof is it. The proof is in the performance every week in that offense. They don't get up for Stefanski. So,
what did you think, Jersey, about the point Stupp made about how they had the guy Ashton Grant in the building? Now, Vrabel was around for 1 year, and he took him with him. He goes, "I got to have him in New England," and we just let him.
Well, it just should. Well, here, what do you expect from the same people that didn't even offer Vrabel a gig?
Mm-hmm.
You got Mike Vrabel. You got a man's man.
Boy.
Yeah, hometown guy, 3 Super Bowls, he's earned every bit of what he's had. And this guy just by chance lands in Cleveland as a consultant. He's available. And you don't even I'm so glad he said that today. He said that on purpose. They didn't even offer him
No, that was back at the combine.
Oh, okay. I thought that was after.
He still said it, though. No matter when he said it, he still said it.
He said it on purpose, and I'm glad he did, to not even offer that guy a gig. So I'm not surprised that they didn't identify this assistant coach. And good for Vrabel. You know what I mean? I mean, the guy's 6-2. It's amazing, man. But it just shows you what one person that brings a culture of winning. You know what I mean? It's a winning culture, hard work, and the guys are bought in. I mean, here the moment Mike Vrabel stepped in that locker room, the dudes are bought in. You know what I mean? How could you not be? And so now you're seeing the results on the field.
John, before I hand it off to you, Dan says, since the champ is here, it's time for everyone to realize that Kevin Stefanski and Mike McDaniels are both undercard jobbers.
You ain't wrong either.
But the champ, what's your thoughts on today's game?
Well, I think, honestly, this didn't just start this year either. I mean, I think Kevin Stefanski lost control way back of the team when he was getting bullied, when we had Baker and we had, what's his name, the receiver that we missed.
Odell Beckham.
Odell Beckham, saying, throw me the ball, when we're running the ball with Hunt and Chubb with success. Why would you ever throw the ball then when we're averaging 6-7 yards a carry back then? He started getting bullied back then. He lost control. It became the environment now that we could just tell coach what the hell is going to happen. And I don't think he's ever recovered from it. And that, to me, is a weak coach rather than taking a stance and saying, hey, you don't like it, get lost. I think he just gets told what to do by his players. And players usually can't really say nothing to other players. Like, sure, you got Myles Garrett there who had an amazing day. The defense had an amazing day. But he's not going to go and do the coach's job and tell the offensive guys, shut up or let the coach or anything like that. I still agree. Stefanski's, I've said this since day one, he's not qualified to do the job. But by far, I just think he gets, like you said, why would he make such dumb calls as far as passing the ball when you should be running it and running the ball when you should be passing it? He's just getting bullied by his players, and I just think he's probably even he's just riding it and getting a paycheck till he gets fired. But nobody wants to come here, so his job's safe forever because who wants to come here to coach?
Yeah. What's your thoughts on Jimmy Haslam's comments about Stefanski before the game?
Well, so someone made a comment earlier about Haslam. Haslam doesn't even run his gas stations correctly. He doesn't. I mean, the guy just doesn't have a clue. Take a look over at Pittsburgh. Every year you hear, oh, they're probably going to be last place in the division. And every year they make the playoffs. They do this. And why is that? Because the owner cares about winning. The coach cares about winning. The players come last. And when you have the mentality like that, you have a winning program. And then the players become accustomed to that and realize it's about winning. And then everybody feels good about themselves. There's no reason to feel good. Myles Garrett broke a record today, 5 sacks in a game, and he feels like shit. That's ridiculous.
Right. It's terrible.
Yeah, Haslam doesn't have a clue. To be honest with you, they need to get rid of him and everybody below him and really just I know they can't get rid of Haslam, but I mean, somebody please buy him. Good Lord. I wonder if they take a payment plan.
Yeah.
Easy financing.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. I got to ask you, too, what would you have done back when you were coaching our team if you looked across the sideline and saw this guy that you had to coach against that day?
Well, I would have had a great time with that one with the other coaches for sure. Then after the game, I would have probably went straight to the parking lot because I would have known that, Snoop Dogg there is about to light up. And,
I mean, that guy. Oh, my gosh.
Oh, that man on that sideline. Man.
Yeah.
My God.
Yeah, I think what it is now is, and honestly, I've been around for many years and watched many years football. And when I was a kid, the Browns were number 1 in the division every year. So, they fumbled the ball. They lost on the drive and so forth. But the difference back then is you didn't have guys that read about football thinking they knew the game. And, not, these kids just go to there's college classes for this stuff now. They go to college. They learn about it. They see videos and they say, well, let's do this. Rather than the old school, coaches that actually played and know what situations are. I agree 100%. The greatest thing we could have got for a couple reasons. This is where Haslam's an idiot too. The name of the game is business, sell tickets, but it's also winning. Mm-hmm. That also sells tickets. You got Shadyur who's going to sell tickets. Now Shadeur is not going to be the savior. I know everybody, but he will put asses in the seats. So if you're going to lose one side, you might as well win on the other. Vrabel would have been another one putting asses in the seats, but Vrabel would have had the discipline and command the respect from the players to say, look, we need to step this up. I mean, our receivers are horrible. Our quarterback is too small. At least Shadyur, he'd be able to see and run, before what's going on. I was never a fan of even drafting. I don't understand how you take Dylan Howard, who's from Ohio State, the national championship team, big, built for this division. Because, let's face it, this division, you have to be a big boy or you're going to get killed out there. Mm-hmm. He would have been way better of a choice out of all these guys to come. He played the NFL, game at Ohio State. They ran NFL type offenses. I don't want to so much, shit on Shadyur. I think Shadyur, nothing's worse than what we got now. Shadyur would definitely be better. But truth be told, Shadyur was in a college football team that never even made the playoffs. And there's a lot more teams that are in the playoffs now. So I know because of his name, he's a little bit more advanced and everybody's thinking this. And he in preseason he looked great, and he probably would be a lot better than Dylan. I would have never got rid of Flacco, and I know some people say, well, he's been making some. He's still, in my opinion, would have been the best quarterback right now until we could figure out something.
Yeah, it's interesting how they. Yeah, I know a lot of people were upset about that, getting rid of Flacco, and then now you see him go to Cincinnati and look pretty good again. I mean, or at least solid.
Yeah, they lost in the last minute today, but that wasn't his fault. It's since he's
but at least they're in games. I mean, he's competitive. When he was here, the first how many weeks he was here, he looked like everybody was like, "Oh, this guy's old. He's washed. He's done with." And he goes to Cincinnati, and
not to interrupt you, but he got burned because everybody has been so sour about Shadeur not getting in the game. They figured when Flacco was gone, it should be Shadeur. But then when it went to Dylan, everybody was, oh my God, Shadeur's not getting this, Shadeur's not getting that. And I don't know what's going on behind the scenes too. I really feel like there's something going on there. I don't know if it's Shadeur's fault by maybe not knowing the plays or not knowing the playbook, or if Stefanski's, who knows what's going on. I think there's
he don't like
a bunch
Shadeur.
of behind the scenes drama there for sure, because Stefanski can't control the team. So I guarantee you there's all kinds of heat and drama backstage that none of us are ever going to hear about until 10 years when they do the documentary on Netflix. Then you're going to hear about all this crap. But because it just seems to me like, hey, why wouldn't you put him in there? I mean, you gave Flacco a bad run with, okay, as soon as you start throwing the first interception, it's, oh my God, get Shadeur in there. This guy sucks. And, interceptions happen. Let the guy have some time to play. The thing is, the guy did win a Super Bowl. The guy does have experience. He knows what he's looking at on the field. Dylan can't even see over his center's ass to even see what's going on the field. That's a huge factor. Shadeur, he'll bring hope. He'll sell tickets again. And, hey,
He's
maybe we get a
confident,
lucky
too.
win. And honestly, in the Jets game would be perfect for him to do it because he will probably beat the Jets up.
Well, one thing too, when you used to preach to us growing up, when we, especially on our national team, was confidence. That kid has confidence. I don't think that kid can get wavered. I think if there's one guy probably built to come into this dysfunction and maybe make it something, it would be him. I think because he's used to all the cameras, all the that's nothing to him.
I don't know either. Like, I don't understand Stefanski at these press conferences. I would never sit there calm if I was the coach about what went on out there. You cannot get your ass beat by 20-something points and come out there and be like, well, we got to look at the film. Dude, you were out there watching the damn game. The bottom line is there was many breakdowns. You suck. Don't sit there and keep saying, hey, this is what's going on or this is what's going on. If you have that answer, why are you not making adjustments during the game to fix it?
Oh, yeah, it's the same vibe every week, folks.
And does everything also include potentially exploring somebody else calling plays?
Yeah, we have to look at everything. I think
That's it. That's all we got.
We
You have to look at everything. When are you going to look at it?
Better.
At the end of the
Just
season?
got to be better.
Yeah.
You just got to be better.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. Just got to be better. Myles Garrett, 5 sacks. Got to be better, Myles.
Hey, well, what's sad though is these so-called journalists don't follow up with, "Hey, coach, you say that every week, so tell me how you're going to be better." You know what I mean? They don't
You shouldn't put up
challenge
with
this
political answers.
asshole.
All that is
Right,
a politically
right.
correct answer.
I've been sitting there talking about going to Berea myself, and since J.W. Johnson said he welcomes anybody to come up there who questions their commitment to winning, so I said, "Well, hell, I'm gonna come on up. I'm gonna go up there, and I'm telling you, I'm gonna make my ass up there, and I like to spend a day or two in that damn facility, and I want them to show me how committed they are to winning. I'm gonna take them up on it. We should go together."
Absolutely. Well, first of all, they probably wouldn't let people, if you start making comments, they'd probably throw you out. But the other thing is, I'll bet you the coach he's probably not even hands-on a whole lot. You know what I mean? I don't know. It's so bad. And his playbook sucks. Like I said, you should have kept the veteran. At the very least, if you want to groom Shadeur, who's going to sell tickets, because this is a business at the end of the day as well.
He's already generated $300 million in plus in revenue too.
What's that?
He's already generated over $300 million in revenue too.
Yeah, I mean, now at this point, you got the Jets coming up. Why not put him in? You'll make that, at least bring hope back to the fans. And heaven forbid, if he goes out there and wins a ball game, you might make some money for the next couple weeks till the truth starts coming out with your bad play calling again.
And he may lift up. I mean, I know a lot of guys in that locker. Myles Garrett, he's backed him publicly, even through the season on a podcast show. I mean, that might reignite that locker room because that kid, the confidence he has, he has like a little. He just has a little different spirit to him. I think.
Well, Dylan can't move. He doesn't see anything coming from either side. I mean, he's really got blinders right here. Is all he sees. The other thing I noticed about Dylan too, which again, it's easy to be the armchair quarterback. The guy just looks where he's throwing. He doesn't move his head. He doesn't, they know exactly where the damn ball is. He doesn't
manipulate the pocket at all.
Right.
Yeah.
You're not freezing anybody up when you don't move your eyes.
Calms Guy says Kevin does boardroom talk really well.
I don't even believe that.
Gergs, you've been waiting patient, brother. What's your thoughts on all this? Are you still there, Gergs?
Yeah, my bad.
Oh, you're good.
Well, as I texted you guys, you in Jersey, on Sunday when you guys beat the Dolphins, that was the worst thing for the Browns. But it's just the Browns way. Even a win could be the worst thing for the Browns because I actually think that if they would have lost to the Dolphins and the heat would have been a lot, it would have been on Stefanski. But then it kind of cooled off a little bit because they beat the Dolphins. But why? The Dolphins stink too. The Dolphins are another team that need to get rid of their coach. The difference is the Dolphins went into Atlanta and just smoked them today. But, here, it doesn't surprise me that they went into New England. There was no way they were beating New England. New England's just a better version of the Browns. They're coached better. They do everything the Browns want to do, just better. They play good defense. They run the ball. I mean, they have good quarterback play. It's just everything that the Browns aspire to be, the New England Patriots are. There was just no way that they were going to beat them. Other than the first drive, which was a scripted, obviously, as everyone knows, your first drive in the NFL, there's no adjustments or anything like that. There's just simply, it's a scripted, your first drive. It's always scripted. And then after that, adjustments happen and they don't do anything. They score a meaningless touchdown in the fourth quarter that really didn't matter because it was already 30-7. So at the end of the day, I mean, you get what you get until you are really wanting to change. And I don't know if they really want to. I don't think they care. Because if they truly cared, it wouldn't be the same thing every week. It wouldn't be the same press conferences every week. At the end of the day, you got to show some fight. If you're the leader of the team and you're just got your butt kicked, you don't just go there. We got to be better. We got to look at everything. I mean, you got to be angry. I mean, it's just the same thing every week. And like I said, beating a bad Browns or a bad Dolphins team in the rain against it. I mean, the Dolphins aren't a rain and cold team. They're always going to lose in the cold and in the rain because they like to spread it out. They like to throw the football. I mean, that's just who they are. You're always going to win against the Dolphins in that kind of weather, cold, all that good stuff. But
what was your thoughts about Haslam's comments?
I don't read much into him because I don't think Haslam. I don't even know. I mean, the fact that Haslam showed up with his family and his family had all Shadeur Sanders jerseys on when Dylan Gabriel's the starting quarterback. I just don't understand it. I mean, you're the owner of the football team, and all your grandkids have Shadeur.
That's very interesting. That says a lot, for real.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, what are you doing? You're like, what are you doing? But I've said it on here plenty of times. I know that there's a ton of Shadeur Sanders people. on here in the comments week in or week out. I'm sorry, guys. Shadeur Sanders is not going to come in and make this Cleveland Browns team win football games. They're not.
Right.
He's not. So and my question to you guys is just simple. What if he doesn't do good? Then what?
Right.
What
And
if
he's not
Shadeur
going
doesn't?
to.
All I've heard from Shadeur Sanders fans, and again, I'm not against Shadeur Sanders by any means, but when he doesn't save the Cleveland Browns, then what?
Maybe everyone will be on the same page about what the problem is.
I mean, it's just like,
Yeah, but honestly, it might take him to come in, not do good, and then, you can say, look, it's not the talent, it's the coaching, it's the higher ups. I mean, you got Barry, all these. It goes all the way up.
Oh yeah, it's a culture. It's a culture. It's a losing culture. It's always been, and until you get somebody in there that's ready to spearhead and fight back to the culture, not first, like a Vrabel would do. I already know he would have. I don't know why we didn't. I don't know. There's just so many head scratching moments with the Cleveland Browns. It just starts to get mind boggling, really. But
I just saw a comment that said that Stefanski won Coach of the Year 2 times or something like that. Okay, that's not this year. That wasn't last year. I mean, he also had a lot better talent on the offense. We had receivers that could catch the ball. That's really a huge thing, too. Besides the fact that Dylan's too small, think about it. What good receiver do we have?
Oh, I agree.
Yeah, the guy they extended, Jerry Jeudy, Gertz today, 0 receptions, 0 yards, and 2 targets.
Oh yeah,
he can't catch a ball.
Yeah,
horrible.
Right.
Yeah, well, he doesn't want to be there. You could argue. I mean, you could just tell by him he doesn't.
Yeah, that meltdown's coming real soon.
Yeah, but he's not going to go anywhere because he's not good. He's got a reputation of dropping the ball.
Oh yeah, no, I get it. I totally understand. I'm not arguing that. I just, again, the Shadeur Sanders thing. I just want him to play because I'm just sick of hearing the fans acting like he's going to come like the second coming of Jesus Christ and save the Cleveland Browns. Like, come on.
Well, like I said, they got to sell hope at this point, and he's that.
Well, until he plays, and then they realize, But then there'll be the excuses, Oh well, everybody throws interceptions. Well, yeah, everybody does throw interceptions, but where was that grace when Dylan Gabriel was throwing them? But
but in all fairness, even to Joe Flacco, if you think about it. These receivers cause a lot of these interceptions too. They're bouncing the ball up in the air. They're not in the spots that they're supposed to be. They're not following routes right. That all is a huge factor as well.
1,000%. Yeah, there's just no way that. I mean, and then I saw in the comments, well, Colorado was 1-11 before Shadeur Sanders got there. Well, completely different world. They were one. Deion Sanders got there when they were 1-11. 2, there's transfer portals. There's NIL money now. There's all that stuff.
Right.
When you're a college kid and everything like that, what do you want to do? You want to go play for Deion Sanders. I mean, that's one of your idols growing up. I mean, you're not going to tell me and sit here and tell me that Shadeur Sanders was the reason why they turned it around at Colorado. Come on. I mean, the guy holds on to the ball too long. He's not accurate.
Right.
Like,
you don't think he's accurate?
I don't think he's not as accurate as Dylan Gabriel, in my opinion.
I think he's more.
I don't know about that.
He's pretty accurate, Burns.
I think he's pretty accurate. I think he.
I don't know about. I think he makes a lot of bad decisions because he's always been able to find the guy wide open. But like he is known for throwing into the wrong coverages and stuff. But I mean, Gabriel, I just can't see, and the NFL guys.
Well, that's
way
true.
Bigger.
He's just too small.
Yeah.
He's just not a starting quarterback. He's just small.
I mean, the bottom line is, if you would get I would go hunting for some free agent receivers because anything's better than what we got going on right now. I mean, some people say Joe Montana is the greatest quarterback of all time, but why? Is it because of Joe Montana or is it because of Jerry Rice? You get one guy like that. We've had those receivers through here. I mean, we got to get somebody that's a threat so we can take the heat off the run game. And even with all the heat, the run game's still doing decent. I mean, it's just we got to get somebody that can take the heat off by getting open. Our receivers can't get open.
No. Well, I also really loved and really enjoyed the flea flicker play that Stefanski called on that second drive. I thought that was very brilliant. It even made me even more laugh when Mark Schlereth, who said, "Throw that play in the trash," is what he said.
Yeah, what does he know? What does Mark Schlereth know?
Right.
He said, "Throw that play in the trash." I mean, you just had a great drive. You just had a great drive, and then you want to do these end arounds and flea flickers, and it's like, dude, come on. Like, and he's an offensive guy.
Right.
Allegedly. Yeah. I wouldn't put Shadeur in right now because I don't like the coach that's going to be coaching Shadeur. I don't think
that's my point.
I think Shadeur can be really good in the NFL. I think he was really accurate in college. I think he had the second highest completion percentage ever. I think he was the part of the reason why they got better in Colorado. I think just you see how bad they are this year without him. I mean, like that. Look at their game yesterday. I mean, that was terrible. 43-0.
Yeah, but what are you going to do? Tank the rest of the season?
I don't know what they're going to do. I mean,
I think, especially coming up against a weaker opponent like the Jets, if you want to give your fans hope, if you want to sell more tickets, you put him in. He's probably going to go in, win his first game against the Jets, which will give people that much more hope. And you're going to have people saying, "See, you should have put him in since week one." Well, now, he'll get a reality slap eventually, but what if?
Well, I think him sitting has done him could actually do him a service in terms of development, in terms of just sitting and learning and not being had to put out in this mess that
what's he learning? He's sitting there behind Dylan.
I think just learning the NFL playbook. I think just learning the NFL playbook. I think sitting in that room with Joe Flacco, he probably learned a lot of things. How to watch. Yeah, I mean, you learn a lot from those guys. He may know a lot.
Flacco was here. I would agree with that. But
now that's my thing. As soon as they traded Flacco, then I'm like, okay, but I don't want him out there because I don't want him to ruin him. I don't want to ruin his confidence or anything, which I don't think he would because I think that's his best trait is his confidence.
Me too. But, I agree with that.
I just don't want to see the guy get thrown out in a bad situation like that.
You're not only going to give new hope to your fans, you're going to give new hope to your teammates as well.
Well, I agree.
And they might just step it up.
No, I agree. I think he can do that. I think if there's one guy to go out there and galvanize the locker room and the culture, it's him. But good to see you, Big Reg. But like he said, as Shadeur Sanders fans, we want because he was out today because his back was he had a back problem. He said we want his back to stay hurting until next year. But I kind of get that because it's like it has nothing to do with Shadeur. I don't think it really has nothing to do with Dylan. Dylan's Dylan. What I see from Dylan Gabriel is what I expected the night we took him when we reacted that live. I just think this guy, to me, I think Shadeur has always had the higher upside to be a franchise quarterback, but I don't think anybody
situation.
It's like Dan said, you can have Joe Montana in his prime, and he wouldn't win 5 games as receivers in this play calling. And just the structure of the organization, it's just so poorly ran from top.
Well, they got to stop trying to hold the ball and throw long and everything else. When your run game's on, stick to it. I would do nothing but quick release, quick slants, quick screens, and let them just make you yards. I think Stefanski, if he even knows this, it's a 10-yard fight. Do 10 yards at a time and see how far you get down the field. The way he's doing things, you're never going to get anywhere because, he just starts panicking. If they have a bad first down, we got to throw it deep down the field, second down. No, you got to try to get a manageable third down. And
he won't run the fucking ball. He won't stay committed to the run.
And we got 2 great running backs, by the way. I mean,
Well, that's the other thing. I don't want to put my rookie quarterback out there. We're not going to take the pressure off of him by running the ball. I mean, look what the Patriots did for Drake May today. They ran the ball. They ran the ball as many times as we threw the ball with our rookie quarterback, and
Right.
they put up 32
Yeah.
points.
And
And the
look
only
what they
time we
did.
put up, and the only time we put up more than 20 points was last week because we were forced to run the ball, because it was raining out.
And 14 of those weren't even really the offense.
Right.
I mean, I get the one. I mean, they got a pick six and then a fumble recovery at the one. So
Right.
yeah, they scored a touchdown from the 1 yard line. But
their defense, it was complimentary football.
Of course.
Our defense at the end of the game is always gas because they're on the field too much because we can't sustain drives.
Well, here and then it's no wonder they racked up all those points in the second half because that run game just pounded the shit out of that defense. That defense wore down, and there you go. Later in the game, they just start and they wear them down. Then they start throwing on their asses. You know what I mean? So it's just you gotta run the fucking ball. It's the Browns ran the ball when they
off a bye.
Yeah, you can't change the way the game football has always been played. It requires you to run the football. I don't know what these idiots up in Cleveland think. Do they think that they're going to revolutionize the game and change the game the way it's been played for 100-something years? We're just going to play it differently. We're going to run the fucking ball. You got to run the ball.
I just don't think they understand that. They don't understand the science of it.
Well, here, like Stump Mitchell said that if their theory is
up here in a second.
Wait, watch when you see this, John. I mean, this is mind blowing.
Yeah, I'll pull it up here in a second. But if you guys, we got a lot of viewers right now. Make sure you guys all like, subscribe, and share. Appreciate all you guys for tuning in tonight as we all vent together.
Oh my God, I got my good side up.
Yeah, but again, Jersey, people always want to say it's a conspiracy too, Jersey, when you talk about the analytics and how they've really have affected the Browns in terms of their philosophy of play and decisions they made. Again, here was Stump Mitchell, former Browns running back coach, a legend, who's going to be on the show here down the road. He's still a coach right now, actively in college football. So once he's not busy, he'll be joining us. But here was Stump, what he had to say. Again, he was there behind the scenes, so I think he would know.
Okay. It's so curious that you say that because, and this is another question for you, Coach. Based on your time with the Browns, was the philosophy more about establishing the run first to open up the pass game, vice versa, or a hybrid? Can you speak to that?
No, Kevin ran the ball more his first year than he ever did. And I think that was simply because he was coming from Minnesota where he had a head coach that was a defensive guy that really told him they needed to run the ball. So he was kind of, in my opinion, still hearing his voice, even though he was the head coach of the Browns. After that, it was tough to, the following years, it was tough to be consistent running the football. Didn't do it a whole heck of a lot. There was times where we went in at halftime and Nick only had 6, maybe 8 carries at the most. And probably ended the game with maybe 16, 18 carries. Nick never averaged 20 carries a season during his time there with Kevin.
It's so fascinating. Like what would change that if you're having success, right? Running the ball, what are the things that would cause a coach to do a 180?
He just analytics for one thing. Analytics during my time when I was there, I haven't been there for 2 years, said if you didn't average 6 yards a carry, then there was no need in running the ball, which is totally bull crap because it only takes 10 yards to get a first down. And if you average 6 yards on 2 carries, that's 12 yards. But if you average 4 yards on 3 carries, that's 12 yards. That's a first down as well. So it makes no sense.
So there you go.
Did you hear what he just said? 10-yard fight.
Right. That's what I thought. I thought of that clip when you said that. 6 yards. When the hell has anybody averaged throughout a season 6 yards a carry?
Never.
Unreal.
I mean, these guys that we got now aren't doing bad when they run. What are they doing? 4 and 5 yards usually when they're getting theirs going. I mean, it's
last week they ran for I think 3
again,
points.
they got to
something at a
start
time.
running the ball, and they got to go find some kind of free agent, fast breakaway receiver to give. Hopefully, give Shadeur a shot and say, look, throw a couple dump. Let the guys do the work. They're trying to make the quarterback's arm get him down the field. That's not going to work.
I agree. Coach, or the champ, actually. Nick, he says, wow, great interview. Appreciate you, Nick. 411 watch. Actually, we're almost we're at 500 now watching. Only 13. Let's get the like button going. Yeah. Yeah. Well, because the champ's here, people. The champ. The champ. And we're going to get to the main event with the champ here real soon. But we're going to talk the Browns first. But, yeah, champ, I got to, Teflon Don, now he's big bag for me. Browns are forever cheeks. Yes, they are. Jersey referenced earlier to what J.W. Johnson, obviously part of the ownership group, son-in-law to Jimmy Haslam, what he said before the season on 92.3 The Fan, and I pulled that back up again because, again, I think people should remember this. Every time this stuff happens, week in and week out, just remember what the co-owner of the Browns said, part of the ownership group, before the season, that, they're doing whatever they can to get it fixed, and they're cracking eggs.
People that discount our belief and our passion for winning are sorely mistaken. And if you want to come down here and get to know us and have a real conversation to see our passion, I welcome that. We care about this team. We care about our fan base. We care about this city. Everything we try to do here is to win every day. Last year was candidly a disaster, and it pissed us off. It pissed our players off. It pissed the coaching staff off. I know how much it pissed our fans off. I apologize the language, but that's just true, right?
Yep.
And our fans care about this club like it's their own, and we want them to. But we're doing everything we can to win. We're going to continue to do everything we can to win. And listen, sometimes you got to break a few eggs to make a good omelet. And we're going to continue to do that. We're going to take big swings, and whether that's signing players or drafting guys, whatever that takes, we're going to do it. And by God, one of these days we're going to be hosting Lombardi, and I can't friggin' wait. So thank you to our fans. Keep supporting us. Last year was last year. We're moving on to 2025.
Like I always say, that's a lot of carton of eggs.
He should have a big old mile-long line at his place tomorrow then, so there's people wanting to come in and see what's going on there.
And that's Jersey, you've been on. Go ahead, Jersey. You've been talking about. We played that clip probably 4 times this year, and every time, Jersey, you just get more mad and mad. And you said you want to take his offer up. That you want.
I do want to take it.
Okay.
I just got to remember throughout the week. I need a reminder. I'm gonna contact those bastards, and I'm gonna play that.
If he really showed up to question him.
I'd love to see him. I want to know what he'd say.
I know.
You know what I mean?
He'd be a politician and tell you every little fake excuse what's going on.
I wonder if he'd really live up to what he said. Would he really let me in? Would he let me spend time in there and see how committed they are, their passion for winning? You know what I mean? I really want. I gotta know. You know what I mean? I gotta do this because I gotta know.
It would be interesting if someone sat down and said, why is Stefanski still the coach? Does no one else want the job? Just to see his reaction to that comment.
Well, I'll just say here, I want you to just write down 5 reasons why he should still be the coach. And I don't even like here, and I always say this when I'm on here, Stefanski's not the main culprit. I mean, ownership's ownership. They're not going anywhere. The culprit is DePodesta. That's the clown.
And Barry.
Yeah, well, DePodesta's the boss. Barry was his guy. So DePodesta's the idiot, and that's the one that needs to go. Because the whole culture has to change. You made that reference to Joe Montana, where you remember he played for the DeBartolos. He played for Bill Walsh. That was a great culture. The 49ers back then were, they were the greatest franchise in all of sports. They were
so mad because you just knew they were going to the Super Bowl, and what the hell? Yeah.
But there was, from top down, culture was there, and so like here in Browns, you could bring in Montana's prime, you could bring in Joe Brady, it ain't gonna make a difference. So I'd love to see Shadyur. I want to see Shadyur play.
Well, they shouldn't put the pressure of him being the savior either.
No,
bring him in to give him hope.
Because no one's going to be. You got to get rid of these.
Beat somebody up.
You know, my hope is, you know, they'll just wipe out Coach. They'll wipe all these assholes out, then bring Shadeur in. That would be the dream scenario. And I really don't want another young quarterback to play for these idiots. And
I don't think they, like I said, I really, truly, truly believe this from the bottom of my heart, because I know they've offered it to some of the big top name guys, and they've just flat out said no. They'll use TV gigs as an excuse or whatever. It's going to be hard to find a good coach that wants to come here and start from ground level. And the other thing is when you get him here, will they give him power to do his job? Because that's another thing that doesn't seem to be happening.
Well, that's where it's got to start with your president of football operations or a GM that's a football guy. You know what I mean? That actually understands football.
Bring the guy Saban in. Bring him in.
Oh yeah, that'd be something else. And see, a guy like Saban, he's going to want autonomy. He's going to want full control. And any, you know,
I'd give it to him.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah, me too.
So
Marty Schottenheimer, the reason why he left is because they wouldn't give him full control. That guy was a genius. He was a winner.
Right.
And
you know,
he pissed him off. He went to San Diego and won games there.
Right. There's a lot of guys out there. There's guys here. There's a guy that Haslam's connected to. Freaking Bill Cowher. I'd call Bill Cowher. When Cowher
said he doesn't want to come here right now.
Oh, really? Damn it.
Yeah.
Because he was here back where he started years ago. But, you know, Cowher or Haslam was a minority owner with Pittsburgh. So he's connected to Cowher. I mean, and Cowher's the guy that when he was in Pittsburgh, he ran everything. He ran everything. He was the man. So
and that's what you need is a guy like that.
Well, even
Nick Saban with the meanness to say, look, players, you're not running the show here. I'm running the show here. Because I promise you, Stefanski's getting bullied. He's probably had about 4 swirlies today. I mean, they're just probably beating him up. You better make sure I get my 7 attempts next week, or you're getting your ass beat again.
Miles outside the toilet.
Yeah.
Yeah. And DDT'ed, but
bullied.
Well, you know,
the peanut butter and jelly sandwiches because he's not allowed to eat at catering because they're going to take his food from him.
Yeah. Well, you know what's funny about Nick Saban too, which Colin Cowher reported for the season. He's very close with the Haslam family, but he's also very close with the Sanders as well. I mean, him and Dion have done commercials together, if I'm not mistaken. So
I don't know if Dion would be the answer, especially with his health issues.
No, I'm not Dion. I don't think Dion ever wants to come to the NFL. I wouldn't be surprised if Dion retires from coaching after this year because of his health. But I'm saying Nick Saban he has a close relationship with that family though, with the Sanders. I mean, they know each other. He knows the Haslams pretty well. He would fit right in with the quarterback you have and with your ownership. You know, and he brings all the things you guys pointed out.
Yeah, I just don't think with Haslam. The problem is when you got a guy that has so much damn money, does he really care about winning or does he care about making a dollar? Well, what he doesn't realize is his tickets are sold in the beginning of the season and people will go and buy them every year thinking, okay, this is our year. Because we've been doing this for years.
Mm-hmm.
Then come game 4, you can't even sell those damn tickets for $10 and you could be front row 50-yard line. And it's because these guys are doing this. But he doesn't care because he's already made his money.
Right.
And unless you start doing something where he cares, you know, if he has the Art Rooney mentality or the Jerry Jones mentality or, you know, those type of owners who are like, listen, we're going to win. Bottom line, anything else is unexcusable. You know, it's not going to change. I know we can't fire him. But, man, somebody needs to come in. I know they used to say there's rumors about the Manning family buying the Browns or part of the Browns. That would bring hope. That would bring winning, possibly.
Well, I brought that up early in the year because Colin Cowher's report before the season was Arch Manning, which I don't think Arch Manning's in the picture at all anymore. But
he's horrible.
He ain't coming out. But, yeah, he's not that good. But you said back in 2017, Jimmy Haslam actually tried offering Peyton Manning the president of football operations job while DePodesta was still here. Manning at the time said he wasn't interested, but the door would still be open down the road. It was never closed. And this was reported by Mike Flory. I put the article up here on the screen before. I mean, and the Saban also very close with the Mannings. They all have the same agent, Jimmy Sexton. And so they all kind of intertwine together. That's what I would look for. Can I get Peyton Manning in here as president and Saban as coach? Could we do
think
that?
about what that would do. Think just for a second what that would do. Number one, it would bring a winning mentality. It would bring hope to the ticket sales and the players. And then number two, you're going to draw other free agents who will want to come here because they know that guy doesn't accept losing.
They believe in
There's
him.
none of that here right now.
Right.
Right.
It's like we grew up playing in our league. Guys wanted to come play with us because they believed in you as our coach.
Right.
Because you wanted to win. You would do whatever it takes to win. And you follow.
Because I wanted to win.
Yeah. And you
Too
follow
much
like
winning. You're overshadowing the band.
Yeah. But no, yeah, 100%. Matthew says Deep Edessence in San Diego in it. Yes, yeah, that's why we're called the San Diego Browns. At least that's what I call them. Trying to be the talent analyst, whatever the hell his job is. Well, all I know is Jersey and coach, he's outlasted everybody here since he's been here in 2016. Every player, every coach, every GM, he's outlasted them all.
He's the common denominator. He's the constant. And that's why he's the first bastard needs to go.
All the way back to Baker. You know, I actually liked Baker. I didn't like him as the absolute first pick. I mean, think of that draft even. I mean, you passed up Lamar and you passed up Josh Allen for Baker. However, Baker now he made this offense look good. And then they started that inside heat stuff with everybody nitpicking. Oh, I'm not getting the ball enough. I'm not getting the ball enough. He goes down to Tampa Bay. Look at him. Doing amazing. Flacco was here, had a great year. They got rid of him, comes back, starts to give people hope. They get rid of him, go to Cincinnati because he has a couple bad games. Look at our line. It's old. It's starting to break down. There's a lot of
not running the ball.
Horrible play calling. No receivers who can catch a ball. I mean, how many of those interceptions Flacco had bounced off our guy's hands and into the other guy's hands? I mean, that happened quite a few times.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing I've always said on here. Is it good for your quarterback and your O lineman to be is it good for your quarterback to ever be throwing a ball 50 plus times a game? Is it good for your offensive lineman to be in pass pro 50 something times a game? But the added duress it puts on the O lineman, versus run blocking.
I would just like to see their game plan. Do they understand that a first down, like that guy, like we've said already, a first down takes 10 yards. You've got some gigantic guys. How can you not? You fall forward, that's 3 yards. How are we not getting that? 10 yards at a time. I don't even think they think like that. I mean, they got to get to the mentality of this is a 10-yard fight. And by the way, if we're winning a 10-yard battle, 10 yards at a time, guess what's not on the field? Their offense. And as we just keep eating the clock up.
And our defense is getting fresh.
Yeah. And the second half, if they're well rested, I mean, I'll put our defense up against any offense as long as they're rested.
Mm-hmm. I agree. Tom Brady not helping the Raiders, so how is Peyton Manning going to help the Browns? I think Peyton Manning would be a phenomenal football. I think if you watch Peyton Manning break down games on the Manning cast and just his passion for the game, Tom Brady, I think, just in a different part of his life. I don't know how involved Brady really is.
Well, what Big Red needs to understand too, it's also Tom Brady's first year there.
Yeah,
you can't make something happen overnight. It's going to take a 2 or 3 years thing, and we don't know how much in depth he really has, or if they're just using his name to sell tickets.
Right, and I think, but Manning to me, I think he'd be a really good talent evaluator. I think he knows how to put a team together. He understands modern day offenses. I mean, you look at his offenses back in the day; they're kind of what offenses are now in terms of just the passing attack and just high power. I mean, those teams are putting up those Colts teams, Jersey, you talk about all the time how many points they used to put up a week and how awesome they were. I mean, they were phenomenal.
Yeah. Well, he's going to refuse to lose. I mean, that dude is, when I think of winning, I mean, obviously Brady is arguably the greatest. He's got the Super Bowls. But when I always think of competitors, I think of obviously Michael Jordan first. Peyton Manning's the next guy I think of. I mean, that guy just hated to fucking lose. And it's just a cerebral approach. I mean, that's a guy that's laying in bed at fucking 2 a.m. just thinking, you know what I mean? Trying to find a way. He's just that guy that never sleeps.
We also got to get a guy that understands the draft process and really look, don't just focus on one guy. Oh my God, I hope he's there when we go there. You got to look at B and C and D. You know, these other teams, they know that this guy might go for it. Our drafting sucks. It starts there. We got to start drafting players in the right positions. Like, and again, I'm not shitting on Baker. Baker is a great quarterback, and I liked Baker. But think about this. We passed up Lamar. We passed up Josh Allen, both who are the faces of the NFL now. You know, we do it with receivers. We do it with defensive guys. We do it with running backs. We just keep passing up. And we don't know the behind the scenes. And maybe they interview these people and they say, hell no, I'm not coming to Cleveland. I'll drop out of the draft, because they give players too much power with that nowadays too. But if you had someone like a Peyton Manning here, that's where that would come into effect. Like, I want to come play for you because I know you're going to help me be a winner.
Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah, and I think Peyton brings just that football mind that you said earlier, Jersey, that you need. Somebody, I mean, I think it's something he's always wanted to do. I mean, I think Haslam, as close as he is with the Mannings, he had it probably asked him for a reason back in 2017. But do you think Peyton Manning's been around the Broncos organization as long? Because even after he left there, he's still been around. His relationship with John Elway. Well, look what John Elway does. Same thing Peyton Manning would do. You don't think he sat back and learned from him all? You think he hasn't learned?
Oh,
anything?
absolutely did.
I think
you can't learn from a better guy than John Elway.
Right. And I think that was intentional. I think it wasn't just going there to win that Super Bowl. It was about, hey, I can learn from this guy because he's did the same transition I want to do. I don't think Peyton Manning wants to sit up there and react to these Monday Night Football games the rest of his life or for the next 10 years. I think he wants to get in there. You just watch how he breaks down those games. I mean, he's so intense and so into it. I love watching it because you see his passion through it. Eli's more laid back. You could tell he likes doing that. Peyton wants to get back involved. That's his passion. That's what he wants to do. And I think what not better place than here with his relationship with the owners. And that's something we need. We need a spark. I mean, we can't just bring in Joe Schmo or some retread and think that's not going to get everybody. We've done that over and over again. Or we go hire the analytics department, which we have now, the analytics dream team. That's who we got right now. Yeah, that's not going well either.
What the hell was Barry, like 33, 34 years old when he was hired?
He was pretty young.
What is so what here?
And by the way,
I'm sure he's a smart guy.
To add to real quick though, remember he got the job because it was between him and George Payton. George Payton's now running the Broncos, and you see he's turned around pretty well with John Elway. But he got
they're looking good. They're going to be something in the next couple of years.
Barry got the job over Payton back then because, according to Charles Robson at CBS Sports, pretty plugged in, DePodesta liked him more. That's why he got the job.
Well, that's obvious. I mean, he wanted him the year prior too, and he couldn't get him at that time. But like, what is that guy? What did he know in life? What experiences did he have where he could come in at 33, 34 years old and be leading an NFL football team? I mean, what the hell were they thinking? You know what I mean? It's almost like
because he adheres to the philosophy. That's why.
Well, that's exactly it. Because logically, you would never take that guy. He's not qualified to lead an NFL football
team. And in that high
team.
Position, why have somebody that doesn't have experience even playing? I mean, some of these quarterbacks are geniuses. I mean, I know Bernie's a drunk, but I'm just saying, like, he was a smart guy when he was a player. You get someone like Manning or someone that's played the game that has some smarts that can read defenses, truly read them. He's going to know who to go get player-wise as well.
Well, and I think the other thing that's critical is they know the mindset of a player. They know what a player, what culture, what atmosphere that player needs to be in. They know what a player's thinking when he's had a shit game. There's just something to be said. You know what I mean? It's like the job that I do, I couldn't do it effectively if I wouldn't have been the guys that I manage, if I wouldn't have been them at one point. It's never left me. You know what I mean? I know how they feel. And my job is for them to never feel, when I had my worst moments and was pissed off and second guess that profession, I never want those guys to ever feel the way I felt. You know what I mean? That's what I do every day. is to try to make it better for them. So, and then when the things go wrong, I know exactly how they fucking feel. So, I know how to respond, and then they love that, and then and they stay even keel, and they stay productive. So, and it creates a great culture. So it's like that in any industry.
These comments are killing me here.
Yeah, Dan says, wasn't Deep Destined Revenge of the Nerds?
Was he? Yeah, he was Gilbert. He was.
Yeah.
That's what it looks like right there. Hey, it looks like the Tri-Lab sitting there in that photo.
Yeah.
There's Lamar in the middle.
Yeah.
Where's his javelin at?
Oh, man.
Deep-Destined Wormser.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's Revenge of the Nerds, the analytics scheme. That's our offensive scheme, the analytics scheme. You remember this too? You said, Jersey, I brought up earlier about about Andrew Berry adhering to the the philosophy here. You remember what was this? Tony Gross reported back in 2021. It says Paul DePodesta is pretty much convinced owner Jimmy Housen that the only way to build a Super Bowl team is by consistently throwing for explosive plays in the passing game, apparently no matter the weather conditions. But then went on to say that Stefanski and Van Pelt insist their system is rooted in the running game, which is only true to the extent that the Browns desired an effective running game, essentially to set up play-action passing game. And that kind of goes along with it does go along with what Stub Mitchell said, who was in the building there when this went on at that time in 2021. So that's, he kind of solidified that. Then you see there at the bottom, though, it says the bottom line is Stefanski's job is safe because he is completely adhering to DePodesta's advanced statistics models and not resisting them. Disagreeing or rejecting DePodesta's research would be Stefanski's quickest ticket out of town. He is smart enough to know that. Same thing from Barry.
That's
absolutely it.
That's disgusting.
And he looks. Kevin always looks miserable. I mean, I think it's just what John said. He's just riding his paycheck. I really think Kevin does want to run the ball, 35 times a game, because that's what he did before. And
Minnesota philosophy.
When we had Chubb and Hunt here, we had Baker, we had Chubb, we had Hunt. We're running the ball successful with Chubb. Hunt was a great 1-2 punch. Then we go and we get rid of Hunt. And then Chubb gets hurt. Then we're stuck with why is Ford even on the team? That guy sucks. I mean, the drizzling diarrhea shits. And you got the young kid from Tennessee,
Dylan Sampson.
Sampson with junk. And I know they say he is a little not with the playbook yet. But those two, man, are a 1-2 punch. You start grooming those two, they're going to run the ball great. Then you go out and you find yourself a couple free agent, even if they're a little older, find something that somebody can get open. Judy is the star of this team. That guy always sucked. Why is he even on the team? He wouldn't make it on a team anywhere else. He has to play here. Otherwise, he'd be, the only one that really can talk any is, he can't leave now because he signed a thing, but Myles is the only one that really can say, I'm going somewhere else, and they'll be afraid of that.
Yeah.
Everybody else, offensively, they're going to say, go. We'll just find another bum to fill your shoes. We have no receiving core. And without a receiving core, you can't throw the ball deep. So your answer to that, to me, or my opinion, you got to throw quick, short ones. Hope they catch the ball because that's the other end of it. Half of them even when I hit them in the numbers, it drops the ball. Or, you do the try over here on the side and you throw it to the back guy and hope he can get you 4 yards in hopes that at least it spreads the defense out where you can run the ball again. They got to do something quick off the line. You hold that ball 2 seconds with this lot with Dylan and the play calls that we're trying to do, you're never going to get it.
Well, and I would say,
John, I was just sitting here thinking, I think I remember seeing Andrew Berry on Varsity Gold sideline.
He was. He's wearing the plays from. Hold on. Big Red said Jerry Jeudy was a Pro Bowler last year. That's because so many people turned it down.
Well, you got to remember, too, who was calling the plays.
Kind of a joke now. You can't even go by Pro Bowl.
Who the hell goes to that bullshit?
And Winston was horrible. He's always been horrible. DTR, horrible. I mean,
I do think Big Reg makes a point though, because guess who was the play caller when Winston took over? It wasn't Stefanski. He gave it over to Ken Dorsey.
Yeah,
and they actually scored more than 20 points, and he did have some big games. I mean,
see, again, I'll go back to, I think Stefanski does get bullied, probably from higher up and the players. You know, I think a lot of these players in today's game are big time crybabies, especially if you're playing for the Browns. I got to get my stats so I can get the hell out of here. To be honest, that's probably what's really going on.
Right.
You know, and I think that all started with the culture with Odell Beckham, who was nothing. I hated when I heard he was coming here. Landry was a phenomenal receiver and got poisoned by Odell. Now Landry's gone, and Landry was a breakaway guy. Like, you had to fear him. You know, we need to get a guy that people are afraid of to go down the field, so that opens everything else up. Shadeur can bring you hope for the next couple games. I would put him in with the Jets. Say, look, get out there, kid. Do your magic. Let's get some more tickets sold. Sure, we're not going to have a winning record for the rest of the year, but maybe we can get you some help with receivers next year. We got running backs. Go get a couple D-line, you know, some not D-line, but offensive line guys, and we're good. We keep adding to the wrong side of the ball every year, or we keep drafting. You know, what's the purpose of drafting 3 quarterbacks this year? What was the purpose of that?
Well, not only that, they didn't take a single offensive lineman at all. They took
or a receiver that was really, I mean, you know, the tight end we got, he's doing great.
Harold Fanta, he's great. Yeah.
Yeah, Fanta's doing real good. The running backs, they're doing real good. Our rookies that you started to try to build the offense with are great. But where's our receivers?
You didn't take a single receiver, you didn't take a single offensive lineman, nothing.
And there's plenty of receivers. There was some good receivers out there.
Right. Oh,
Guess
even
what?
yeah. Well, at the Dillon, even safety is I think a position. I mean, the defense isn't a big concern this year, not the biggest, but you still need a safety. I think they had a guy, Xavier Watts, sitting there. They could have took out of Notre Dame. You know what I mean? They took Dylan Gabriel instead in the 3rd round. When you probably could have got him.
How the mock drafts are always so wrong about the Browns.
Yeah.
Every single year. I don't think they could stick their head far enough in the shitter to think like they think to draft the guy that they pick so many different players, and they're never right with our first pick.
Odell, good to see you. He said nobody gets open.
Modell, what's happening?
He said QB play is dog shit. That's our
How about the Vols?
Yeah, our fellow Tennessee fan, Rocky Top. Josh is in the house. Josh, good to see you, brother. He said,
PW, what's happening?
Yes. He said, hopefully the Browns can snag Carnell Tate with one of their 1st-round picks this next draft. I agree with that totally.
Yeah, I do too.
Carnell Tate is good.
Josh gets it. Why don't we make him the coach?
Right.
Odell says Jersey.
He won't get bullied.
Modell, when you coming up to Ohio, dude?
Matthew says we need linemen bad. Petonio was probably done after this year. Conklin is always hurt. I don't know what happened with Teller, and our center is still a question mark. Yeah, our O-line's pretty old, beat up. I mean,
you know, and another thing, our kicking situation every year, year in and year out, we can't win a close game either because our kickers suck every freaking year. We got to go get ourselves a kicker too.
He said Vols are going to win out and belt to ass the Buckeyes in the playoffs this year.
This is what you said last year, asshole.
Stop it.
until you got that phone call from me.
Yeah.
The Buckeyes look by far 10 steps ahead of everybody else.
Yeah, they're just different.
Ohio State would beat the Browns right now, probably, with that defense.
I would put money on it.
Yes. I mean, that offense still could score on the Ohio State's defense with Matt Patricia. Yeah, I agree. I mean, and I want to add too, going back to the linemen. Yeah, as somebody who played lineman, O-lineman growing up, I played center. How do you get your O-linemen going, get their energy up, and where they can dominate the line of scrimmage? You run the ball more. You know what I mean?
Right.
When you're running the ball, all you have to do.
They feel important, right?
Right, and it's man on man. It's running the ball. We're running at them. We get to run at the defense full speed forward and just plow them over. You know, that's what running game is. You just got if you're running a gap scheme, you just got to know where to pull. But your job is to go literally just run at somebody and take their head off. And that's how you impose your will and you get your energy up. You know what I mean? You don't see that. If your O linemen's constantly have to drop back and pass protection, then they're going to get worn out. You know, I mean, we never let our O line impose our will because we don't.
And if they never stop it, don't stop running. You know, it's
and get more creative with the running. We just run such basic zone running now. We never run gap scheme. We're gap scheme where you pull guys, wham blocks with tight ends, but it opens up the line of scrimmage. You know what I mean? So
it's so many other. Look at like the Detroit Lions. Talk about a complete and great offense.
Mm-hmm.
Gibbs is amazing. He's not only running the ball, he's catching the ball. We have that type of running back. Our problem is we don't have those type of plays. You know, we had stuff. That's what we should be running because of how slow or older our line is. We should be running those types of plays. Dump it to Judkins out of the back. For some reason, this offensive scheme that these guys keep running, the tight end's the number one receiver. That makes no sense. I mean,
and who you still didn't give many targets to in the second half today after you had a good first half.
I think what they did is they watched too many Tom Brady and Gronkowski games, and they said that worked for them. What they didn't realize is they were still running the ball, and they still had other receivers. And yeah,
And the guy that was calling plays for the Patriots today was calling plays for them back then. And what did he do? He ran the ball 35 times today.
And I don't think a head coach should ever in the NFL be the offensive coordinator.
I don't either.
I agree with you on that.
Only very few can do it. Sean McVay and Andy Reid are rare. But I reached out to a college coach who was assistant to Urban Meyer for those 3 national championships he won. And I asked him point blank about that. And he said no. He said it's too much to handle. Your head coach getting pulled so many different directions throughout the week. He's got to manage the whole team. And plus, you don't want your offensive coordinator to be emotional because your head coach gets emotional. He's the head coach. He's talking to referees. He's got to keep the whole morale in the locker room. He's in charge of everything. He's the CEO.
Right.
And you know that, John, as you were head coach. I mean, but you're up. That's why a lot of offensive coordinators, they go sit up in a box behind glass because they want no emotion. They get lasered in. They're focused on one side of the ball. I think it helps your quarterback. You have young quarterbacks, it helps their development too.
And now they're allowed to talk to them in the helmet and everything. You could tell them, hey, this is what's going on.
I want my offensive coordinator and quarterback coach to be locked in on just that unit, especially if I have 2 young quarterbacks, because I think
Stefanski's not going to see holes from the ground.
No.
He's waiting for these reports, but the reports never come because who knows what he's got up there looking down, calling this stuff. If anybody at all.
Right. Exactly. He said, dude, St. Ed's could beat the Browns. Well, Hoban beat St. Ed's, my Knights. So the Hoban Knights could beat the Browns right now. Right?
I did watch that on Spectrum the other night, by the way.
Did you? Yeah. It was a hell of a game to be at. And if you want to see the highlights for it, people, I put it up here on this channel. Go check it out when we're done. The Holy War. Go check it out. Our first ever high school highlight video. But yeah, I mean, back to the Browns, though, unfortunately. He said all the plays you guys are talking about are Kevin's Waffle House menu. He holds up all the time. Yeah. Kevin is too worried about Shadeur. One day, aliens and analytics.
That's not true.
You got a response to that?
No, I just said I don't think he's worried about Shadeur at all. I don't think he's even thinking about him. That's why they suck.
He was asked today about Jersey. They asked him today. He said one day aliens and analytics run football. R2D2 voice. And that's 30 where it's heading. But Jersey. They asked him today, and we'll finish with this about before we get to the why we have the champ really here tonight about his big match coming up. But we'll end with this though with the Browns though. They asked Stefanski after the game today, guys. Hey, would you consider any changes coming out of the bye with quarterback? And he said point blank, no, he's not making any changes coming out of the bye. He's sticking with Dylan Gabriel against the Jets. Your guys' thoughts. So I'll start with you, Jersey.
Well, he's going to do what the hell he's told. We know that. So if that's what he's being told, that's what's going to happen. Now, tomorrow, he could be told something completely different. So here, you heard Haslam say it, that they're both playing this year. I mean, Shadeur Sanders is playing this year. You know what I mean? So they have to play him to see what he could
Probably wait
do.
until after
So,
week 8. The
well,
halfway
yeah,
point.
that's what we said like a couple weeks earlier in the year. I figure probably 8, 9 is when 8, 9 is what I thought they would put him in, because then if he comes in and he wins a game or two, then all of a sudden they might get flexed into prime time because it's such a TV draw. But you got to play the guy to see what he can do. I wonder if his dad even wants him to play. I mean, his dad's got to be saying, "Fuck, oh gosh, dude, I don't know, just sit on the bench."
I don't think he'll be that bad, especially if you start him off against like the Jets. He'll be able to outrun them. The Jets are pretty bad. I mean,
I know that, but it's just the Browns are just. I'm just saying, I hate to see another young guy just
destroyed.
Yeah, it's just what I mean. But here, you're in the league. That's what happens. So,
But he's got name power, so even if he puts on a little bit of a show, he could probably, if they would be willing to trade him for something next year, someone else will take him because he's going to put asses in the seat.
Oh yeah.
What's your thoughts on it, Champ?
I mean, I agree. I just think Stefanski's a fart in the wind. He's really nothing. I mean, he's getting told what to do from one end. He's getting bullied from the other end. And I really think he's just like every day counting his blessings like, shit, I'm getting a paycheck again this week. That's great. Until they finally slam the door in his face, which he should have happened a while ago. The problem is they've probably been on the phone nonstop. Let's find a real coach. Let's find a real coach. And everybody's like, hell no. Get the hell out of here. I'm not coming to there. You're not going to destroy my career.
Nobody wants to work for that front office.
Right. And
well, the guy
without control, you're really handcuffing people.
Well, that's what happened when they interviewed Josh McDaniels. Speaking of him, back in, was it 2020? After, we're going into that season. Remember when they fired Freddie? And they said that Josh McDaniels went into Jimmy Haslam and said, you need to pretty much fire everybody in this building, literally everybody, and start from scratch.
He ain't wrong.
Then I'll take the job. And then they said no. So that was it. He just walked out and left. And that was it.
He ain't wrong.
Why would you? What is Jimmy? I mean, these guys have got to have some photos of Jimmy Haslam or something. My gosh.
I really think Jimmy doesn't care as long as that at the end of the year that says profit, he's okay with it because he's so he probably doesn't even watch or like football. He just it gives him a second income or whatever. The guy's so filthy rich anyway. He probably doesn't even care as long as that doesn't say negative at the end of the year. And it never will because we're so diehard for next year. We buy tickets and then where they're smart and sucker reel us in is, they draft a Shadeur who's going to sell tickets and give us hope. And then they slam the door in our face by not playing the guy, and then all of a sudden it's, oh, well, we'll wait till next year. We'll find another big name. We'll bring him in and it's going to reel him in and take this people's season ticket money again. And then they know if we're miserable, we're going to drink because we're all out, Cleveland's an alcoholic town because of the Browns. And we're going to buy his booze too.
The comments are going crazy right now. If you guys can see, I'm not going to put it on the screen, but you can look down on the right there. Odell.
I can't see anything.
Odell's going berserk.
Is he?
Yeah.
Modell.
Yeah, he's I can't put that one on the screen, Modell. I'm sorry. But
it's the internet. Go for broke.
Jimmy has his new stadium where he'll make another pile of money. He doesn't care about the team, fans, or city. He'll let Kevin run the team into the ground as long as he makes $1. And
100% agreed.
Like Gerg said earlier too about the photo last week of his family standing on the sideline with Shadeur jerseys on. But it's like, how sincere is that really? Because you look at how much money he's made off of Shadeur without him. This guy's ain't started a regular season game yet. Over $300 million. He's already made back the Watson contract with Shadeur. So,
whoa, now you're taking things too far.
I mean, he's already made that contract back. I mean, he's already made it back through Shadeur's revenue because I think Shadeur gets like 15%, I think, of the revenue, and then the rest gets divided up between the league and the team. So over $300 million, he's definitely made the 230 already, almost, or if not more.
And think about that with the Watson thing. Not to interrupt. I'm sorry. The guy that processed that move in the first place should have been fired a long time ago. As soon as he couldn't play, as many games he could for whatever reason, after bailing him out of all his legal problems and spending all that money on him and getting rid of players that were popular in Cleveland, the guy that pushed the button for that one should have been shit canned immediately.
Mm-hmm.
But again, that's proof Haslam doesn't care.
He said maybe
Well, that was definitely
we'd be fired.
That was definitely Haslam, because
someone else brought it to him though.
Yeah, but I mean, he's the one that signed off on 230 guaranteed. So, you know what I mean?
I know that, yeah. But I'm
So-
saying he's getting sold on something, and once he realized, oh, this is a bust, especially after TikTok where the idiots dancing on the side of the road and they thought they could get out of that contract and it didn't happen.
Well, there's the blame though. I would a damn big ass fight in this Pittsburgh game. Shit. I would assume that had Watson got that contract with a different team, it would have been a different outcome for him. The same way Baker. I even became a big critic of Baker.
Watson wasn't that good of a player in Houston. I know they're going to say he did. Okay, he was great for a year or two. I was never sold on him at any point anyway.
But he was easily a starter in the NFL. I mean, I think he threw for almost 5,000 yards in Houston. And the guy's he was a winner. I mean, you watch him at Clemson. He's a winner. But you wouldn't have got what you got here had it. I blame the Browns. Just like when they did with Baker. Here, I thought Baker's career was over. I was saying this guy fucking got concrete shoes on. This guy can't move worth a shit. This guy's terrible. I'll be the first to say it. And then he gets out of here and look what happens.
Yeah.
I mean, why would anyone think it's otherwise? You know what I mean? So I think they had an opportunity with Watson. They just didn't manage him properly. And I mean, he came in and who wouldn't come in with their head all jacked up? They got all these accusations against them, and they didn't manage it properly. And who knows if they're all on the same page with the guy? You're dropping $230 million guaranteed. Everybody better be on the same page. You know what I mean? So
maybe Haslam brought him in because he was like, well, look, Robert Kraft's still able to get some ladies. Watson can help me get some ladies. Go for broke.
Yeah, well, I mean, I've always said it's kind of ironic. All that shit went down with Watson when Kraft and Snyder were in trouble.
Yeah, just a massage. Don't worry about it.
And then it all went away for those guys. But anyways.
Well, Stump brought up, though, also on his show before. I remember him saying this. He was there when Watson came in. He felt Kevin never really called the right plays for Watson, that he never really built an offense around him, that it was more of – he just didn't feel like he did a good enough job with him. So
Didn't did with Baker either.
And that's somebody on the staff. Yeah, I mean, he even talked about Baker, too. He felt they could have won with Baker,
I just always feel like you got rookies, like think about like successful teams of the past. They all kind of came in on a good draft together over, let's just say, a 2, maybe 3 year span. You build them and then they grow together for years. Like the Dallas Cowboys in 1989, they drafted, Troy Aikman, and then the next year was Emmitt Smith and Michael Irvin, and then, some of the defense, and they end up being a dynasty. But it's because they started, let's get real players. And the Browns, for some reason, we stalemate on this stuff. We keep going and focusing, spending all our money in the wrong. And it didn't just start with Watson. I mean, if you remember, what was that clown's name back in Junkins or whatever, isn't it, back in the 80s? I mean, we've done it in the 90s. We did it a bunch of times too. We keep spending all our money, our cap money, on the wrong guys who don't even really play a whole season, or just flat out bust when they get here. I mean, we're notorious for that. We gotta change that mentality.
And I think we've never had the right structure either to take on anybody. Like our structure,
we won all through the 80s.
Well, back then, but I'm talking about like now. You look, since they came back in '99, they've never had the right structure to develop anybody, to help anybody.
Yeah, well, it started when you draft Tim Couch over McNabb. That's probably a plot,
But who knows? Even with Tim Couch, could he have? But could Tim Couch have actually been something? You never know. I mean,
He sucked in college.
In college. I don't know. I mean, I think the guy's head wasn't right. I mean, when you walk out the field and the fan tells you, "I wish you were dead." I mean, I don't think the guy's going to play well. I think they already put the narrative out.
Yeah, he
on
went
him.
home and cried into the big titties of his model wife and was like, "I'm so mad that he wanted me to die." I would be mad too, having to do that.
Anyway, I don't think people can develop here. That's just my thing. I don't think we're set up to.
Sorry, man.
No, you're
No,
good.
they don't develop anybody here.
Dan said, "What are we complaining about? We just won the division 13,000 days ago. Yeah, since was it 1986? Was the last time we won the division?
That's crazy. That is absolutely crazy.
At least we have the Cavs.
He said it's the Modell curse. That's why we ain't been right since '99.
Could you imagine if Dan Gilbert owned this team? We'd won Super Bowls already.
He's not afraid to spend money. He's not afraid to go get them.
We have possibly the worst ownership on our football team, and possibly one of the best, maybe best owners in all sports in the Cavs. You know what I mean?
And I mean, to be honest with you, he seems to come out on. I mean, we had to suffer a little bit when LeBron first left because we had some of the players that we brought in and overpaid for LeBron to make LeBron happy. But I mean, since then, I mean, we've
done a great job.
We're looking
they've done a
really,
great job.
really good.
But he hires the right.
It's going to be nasty.
But he hires the right people and he lets them do their job.
It's great culture.
Matthew said, "Just don't let the Dolan own the team."
Oh, I know. He's fucking horrible.
Yeah, they're just worried about playoff revenue then.
Cheap. That's the worst.
He's out.
At least Haslam will spend money.
20 quarterbacks in the last 6 years.
Has it been more than that? I thought it was more than that.
That'd be more than that.
I think it's more than that.
DFJ, good to see you, brother. Make sure you guys go subscribe to DFJ Hoops. It's basketball season, especially if you've got some Philly fans in the house. Go subscribe to him. Good to see you, brother. Kobe Altman needs to run the Browns too. Yeah, just bring everybody from the Cavs over here.
Yeah, Kobe would be great.
Since they know how to get it done. But yeah, you guys got any last thoughts on the Browns before we move on to the main event? Yeah, what do you guys predict the rest of the season right now? Going into the bye week, we're 2-6. What do you think they finish at?
I'm going to say if they let Shadeur play, we'll get a total of 5 wins.
Okay. Jersey?
I would say I think I said before the season 3 wins, 3-14, maybe 4. I don't even think they'll hit 5.
Think about it. If Shadeur plays, we'll beat the Jets. We'll steal one from the Cincinnati Bengals if Burrow's still out. Well, then again, we're playing Flacco, but
yeah,
Myles might eat him up because it'll be anger that he left and he didn't get to go. So
yeah.
It'll
well, here, I mean, as the season goes on, it's becoming more and more toxic within the locker room, on the field. So, I mean, it just makes you think it's even less likely to win a game. I mean, you got Myles slamming his fucking helmet, which I don't blame him. I don't
blame him either. But that's bad because that means the big guy ain't happy, and he ain't happy.
Right.
It's going to hit the fan.
And everyone else and all the others, his teammates are watching. So, it makes you think like it's going to get a lot worse.
Yeah. Matthew says, I say 4 wins maybe. Tennessee fan says Shadeur is dog shit to him and he's 5-12. I'm just reading the comment. Big Red says, I seen that comment on G Bush channel today. Yeah, I was watching that too. Shout out to G Bush. I might be 20. I wouldn't be surprised if it's more like John said. Jeffrey, good to see you. If Shadeur plays, I don't think we win another game. I'm telling you, the way he handles pressure is terrible. It was bad in Colorado. It was bad in the preseason game against the Rams.
And Gabriel's doing any better?
I mean, I think Shadeur would be better than Gabriel. But, I mean, Shadeur played well in the Panthers game. And I thought the Rams game was out there with a bunch of Ford Fifth stringers. I don't think those guys are in the NFL right now. I don't know. I think it's a small sample size in the NFL. I want to see what he does in Cleveland with an opportunity.
Well, the one thing Sanders
go ahead.
The one thing Sanders can do though is that guy, even though he's a rookie, he'll get everyone around him to play better.
And he'll get them up.
He'll,
There was a different energy.
He'll make guys play better.
Even in that Carolina game where he was playing against some of their first stringers and second backups, there was just a different vibe that night, just on the field. You know what I mean? It was like when you went out there was like a confidence that they can go down and score the ball.
What if he wins a couple? Now you're going to have people's, going through the roof trying to get those damn tickets again and everything else.
It makes you wonder, like, could you if you're an O lineman or a receiver or a running back, you want to be in the huddle with fucking Dylan Gabriel, you want to be in there with Shadeur Sanders. What do you think is being said in that huddle? You know what I mean? Like, Shadeur Sanders probably got this big ass smile on his face.
Let's be really honest. I mean, after seeing what's going on in the NBA over the past couple of days, in my opinion, all these sports are probably just scripted, and it just depends. Our cheapskate owners not paying for the top prize to be ahead of the script to be the champions is what it is.
Oh, I think it's all scripted. Everything is.
He said,
too much money.
Oh, go ahead. Well, let me read
too much money for it not to be.
Shadeur runs 30 yards backwards in the other direction, take the sack. That's not good. Yeah, obviously can't do that, but you would think that, but that by their coaching, it should be corrected by now. They've had all these weeks to.
Yeah, but what do we need? I mean, I understand what he's saying there.
Yeah, I get it.
Look at it too, like Gabriel today. Why would you throw the ball and get us a safety to an intentional grounding call?
Yeah, I mean, I
hit a player in the back of the head. Hit your lineman in the back of the head, for Christ's sakes. Throw it forward.
Well, I'll say this before I let you go, George, about that. When Shadeur comes in, I want Stefanski to hand off play calling to Tommy Rees. That's what I want to see. I think Tommy Rees actually would do well with Shadeur, personally. But I think I think it would be better. Go ahead, Jersey.
No, I don't have anything.
Well, no, what were you saying? Or you forgot?
I forgot.
All right.
Getting old.
The best color guy in the league.
Yeah. Tomas, good to see you. I remember I haven't seen you in a long time. I remember back when our days. He said Watson been showing Shadeur the art of a massage. Oh boy. I don't like Dylan Gabriel either. I still think that we need a veteran quarterback, one that has leadership. We had that in Flacco. We traded him out the door. So,
and got nothing for him, by the way. A typical Browns trade.
Kevin's ego is too big to give up play calling. Gersh is in the chat and his phone died. He said, hire Satan. I don't know if he meant Saban. Yeah, he meant Saban.
Oh.
All right. That's not to say.
I was like, what the hell?
Hire Satan.
Okay. Hire Saban. He said, okay, that's fair at least. But yeah, that's the Browns, guys. It's an absolute dumpster fire, a circus, and a train wreck like always. Yeah, you got if you're in the bad movies, this will be it for you the rest of the year. Just come watch the Browns. But on to some more positive things now. The one with this, the champ is here in the house tonight. The champ is here. He's on a comeback tour in the last couple of years. After the legendary run, and he's got a big match this week. He's got a ladder match coming up here against American Strong Style. John Rossiter, I believe I said his name correctly.
Yeah, that's his name.
Yep, coming up this Saturday, next weekend at the Akron Turner Club. As you can see here, you can go online to purchase a ticket. John, you want to tell us, the champ, you want to tell us more about your match coming up? What's going on there?
Well, let me get my prop here first.
Oh, give me 1 second.
All right, here's my prop.
Yeah.
So before I say that, I told my grandbaby Baker, I would say hi. So I got to say hi to him first. So
shout out to Baker, my little nephew.
Yeah, I gotta do that first. Now I can get back to the old man business.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like my little retirement run here. I'm back in it, and I have the championship. And this Saturday, I'm wrestling a guy that's big, nasty monster, and it's in a ladder match. And you guys need to get out there and check it out because it's gonna be nasty. And the whole card, everybody on the card, honestly, from beginning to end, they put their ass behind everything, and it's a group of great guys that just go out there and put it all on the line. And for the little bit of money you pay to go to this thing, you're going to be entertained. And it's at the Turner Club, which has real cheap drinks, kind of like VFW type stuff. So you can get a couple $. You can get drunk cheap. You might pick up a toothless woman to take home, and you get to watch the champ take care of business. It's a night of excitement.
All right. Champ, you want to tell us about your match code up here against American Strong Style? What are you looking forward to here in this match? What's I've been preparing for him.
Well, I'm looking forward to the victory. However, I'm not looking forward to the pain because, a ladder match, we're putting that title way high in the air and we got to climb a ladder to get the championship off to win the title. And of course, he's going to be pushing me off. I'm going to be pushing him off. We're going to be putting each other through hell and high water. And it's going to get real nasty. So definitely come out, check it out, give it a shot. I mean, you're not going to stay home and watch the Browns, that's for sure. So you might as well come and check this out.
Jersey, what's your thoughts on it, Jersey?
Well, Champ, I've known you a long time. Obviously, you had a lot of success back in the day, and after all these years, coaching football and, had a grandkid. You look great, by the way. I saw you at the football game last week. Even Joy said that. She goes, "Man, John looks great." And what made you decide to start getting back into this? Because here, I'm 48. I know how hard it is to recover from anything you do physically. But what made you decide to go through the eating regimen and the working out and to deal with that pain? Is it just the love to entertain, or is it just like to fight?
Actually,
what is it?
It had nothing to do with wrestling at all at first. It actually started off, I was having major, kind of like health issues. I was way overweight in the wrong way. And then I think I was probably borderline diabetic. Every other day I was having anxiety and checking oh my God, am I dying and everything else? And I had high blood pressure, and I went to the doctor, and they said, "Oh my God, your blood pressure is just absolutely insane." And they put me on, like they do every time, they put me on some medicine, and I took it for like 2 days, and it was giving me headaches and crazy bad dreams and everything else. And I'm like, man, I got to find some natural way to do this. And I started eating right, intermittent fasting, working out, lost a bunch of weight. And then I saw, childhood friend of mine who was promoting this. And he's like, "Hey, why don't you get back?" I kept saying, "No, man, I'm not interested in beating my body up. I'm not interested in beating my body up." And then finally, Rick Lieb, the role model Rick Lieb, they got the right guy to start chirping at me. And I'm like, all right, I got to kick this guy's ass. and then I got in. I'm like, well, that didn't hurt so bad. Let's do it again. And then that don't hurt so bad. Now these last couple times I'm like, ooh, that hurt pretty bad. I only got a couple left in me. Yeah, I mean, I feel great. I work hard to get, every day I'm out there working out. I'm eating right. I'm 55 years old and I'm doing this. I mean,
it's amazing.
Yeah, it's crazy, but it is coming to an end. And, I want to make sure I just kind of do it on the right note and build the younger generation up too, so that they can go forward and carry on the art and the craft and the brotherhood that we all loved and worked hard in, and carry on that tradition with it.
Now, this will be your first ladder match in how long?
Ooh, shit. That's probably been 20 years plus.
Yeah. So what's your preparation been for that?
What's that?
What's your preparation been for that?
Have a couple beers before you get in there and just hope it don't hurt too bad.
All right.
I think you told me.
I'm being honest.
Yeah. I think you told me a long time ago. You told me about the one you did with Jerry Lawler.
Which part?
Oh, you talked about you guys got out and climbed up top, or was it a scaffold match? I think you said you guys met out in the middle, and he said to you, "John, I'm scared. I'm scared."
Oh no. That wasn't Jerry. That wasn't Jerry Lawler. We were never cool with Jerry Lawler. That wasn't me in the match. That was actually a guy named New Jack who was wrestling a guy named Vic Grimes, and they were wrestling, and they get up to the top of the scaffold, and actually New Jack, who's now dead, rest in peace, but he was a crazy son of a bitch, but he was a great guy. But he told this guy goes, I'm afraid, Jack. I can't go. He goes, we're going. And he yokes him off. And the guy lands on New Jack's head and cracks his skull.
Oh,
man. Yeah. And he goes, I would rather have a cracked skull and have brain, and he did have brain damage because he had that disease after that. He was never the same. He had that, like he was telling a story. Say we were saying Jersey Joe went to the McDonald's to get a Big Mac. He'd be like, Jersey Joe. And then he'd wake up, fishes, or went to the McDonald's to get a Big Mac. What is that called? When you do that? I can't remember the name of it.
I'm not sure.
But yeah, his brain would shut down and then reset and continue exactly the spot he left off at.
Yeah.
Okay. But that was a guy named New Jack who did that. And cracked his skull, pulling his big fat ass off. And that 260-pound guy landed on his skull and cracked his skull.
Wow. Man. Oh, man. Go ahead, Jersey.
Well, I'll tell you, man, going on 19 years now, 18 years I've known you since we started coaching football together, and kids became best friends. And
absolutely
the one thing, and here, even though we haven't seen each other a lot in the last 10 years and stuff, but it's like, Joy and I were saying that last week. It's just like no time's passed. Like we just pick right up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
I mean, you guys have always been so awesome, and we've always had a great relationship. The part that kind of got me a little, to be honest with you, in my older age, I'm getting real soft. I got a little choked up. I'm seeing, grown man Joe and grown man Zach talking. They're men now, and then you got little Julia, who used to be a little teeny bopper, just walking around all in the, wondering where the hell she's going, what's going on with her when we'd go out to eat. And she, now she's a grown, pretty much almost a grown woman. And, my little girls is, time just flies.
Here, I'll tell you how long it is. Joy got pregnant for Julia about 2 months after I met you. That's crazy as hell.
2 months after you met me?
Yeah, I met you in 2007, at the beginning of football season.
Was it only 2 months?
Yeah, she got pregnant a couple months later for Julia, and then had Julia in 2008.
Oh.
Yeah. So, that was our...
home after a rejuvenation from the champ. You went home feeling like an Italian lift Rocky movies and went home and made Julia, did you?
It's just crazy how much time's passed. You know what I mean? But here, one thing.
Josh just wrote, by the way, $2 beers. You can get really.
I saw that.
We also have the street grinder Mike Botts in the chat. He said, "Always a fantastic time. Don't want to miss the show this Saturday."
He's right.
But
he's an up and coming guy. Great rookie. He was just in his first bout. He draws huge. Great kid too. I mean, this is what we want to do. We want to hand it over to these guys and let them lead the future for us.
Well, to finish off, what I was saying is, the whole 18 years I've known you, you've always loved to make people have a good. You've always loved to make people have a good time and laugh. You know what I mean?
Thank you.
That's awesome, man. There's not many people like that, and I'll tell it.
You remember this?
Cartel,
3.
One of the greatest weeks of. I tell you what, man, that was probably one of the greatest weeks of my life. It was.
Same.
Oh my gosh, was it great? But I've kind of like to the audience, kind of lived a little vicariously through John over the years, and because I love to laugh, and that some bitch just made me laugh and laugh and laugh and laugh. That's all I do is laugh when I'm with you.
We've had some great times.
Yeah. We'll start doing it again, though.
Yes.
Yeah, and if you guys don't know what car 3 means, real quick, I want to. When I was in 8th grade, John's son Zach and I are best friends. We went on an 8th grade field trip, and our shout out to Justin as well, if he's watching. These two guys here were our chaperones for our van. There was 8 cars. We were car 3. So you can imagine our car was the most lit. Weren't allowed on the phone. Where you look at our car, we're on the phone. Screw that. We're not doing any homework in the car. We didn't do any of that. We beat everybody everywhere 2 hours ahead of time. We're already eating dinner in town. Rules.
I had that minivan.
Were we supposed to be drinking, by the way? Were we supposed to be drinking at the at night?
I don't know.
What's that? I don't know. I mean,
remember we went to Pizza Joint. I'm having a couple beers, and you're like, oh, I don't know if we're supposed to be drinking. I'm like, oh. And then I go.
I don't care.
Then I go see ghosts at the bridge, and every Jedi Knight is sitting at the bridge with these big long cameras. And I'm like, let me see that. I'm taking pictures of the same spot they're telling me to take pictures of. My camera's coming up black, and they got these little white figures. I'm like, holy shit. Is there really ghosts here? What the hell?
Well, in every museum we went to, they said, don't take pictures. Don't take pictures. And he's over there with his iPad.
So we're at Mount Vernon. We're at George Washington's home, and there's signs everywhere that says no pictures, no pictures. And we're walking through Mount Vernon. John's just got his iPad up, just taking pictures.
And just for the record, for sale on eBay as of tonight, I got the exact spot of the bed where not only did George Washington die, but the last place he got laid. Get it tonight.
Get it tonight. That was a great week, man. That was
the highlight of that week, though. One of them was, the first night we're heading to Washington D.C. and our teachers are breaking down to us, hey, when we get to the hotel, we don't want you guys running around and yelling. Make sure we're quiet and cordial. And she tried making an example. She said, hey, when we get to the hotel, I don't want you guys. And she looked right at John. At first, she said his name wrong. She called him Mr. Potak. It's not Potok. It's Potok. She said Potak, which I think that kind of threw you off too. But she was like, hey, when we get that, I want you guys going, hey, Mr. Potak, what room are you in? And, she was trying to make an example of what not to do. Well, John said, point blank, you know where I'm in, baby. I'm in room number 1. Right like that. And, everybody was.
He did too.
Yeah. Everybody was just dying laughing on the floor. That was one of my favorite moments. I think that one. And when we remember we pull out our Arlington National Cemetery and you go right in that roundabout and we're all sitting there and we're trying to get in that rent. It's busy as hell, middle of the day, Washington, D.C., one of the biggest, obviously, places in the world, busiest place in the world. And we finally get to that roundabout and you look at the entire school and you're like, F yeah, bitch, yes, giving the finger out the window. And that one was, there was a lot of moments that week. It was just nonstop fun.
Yeah, we did our own thing. We had our own vacation.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a vacation.
Now my daughter, she's in 8th grade now, and they were needing chaperones at first, and I'm like, Heather, you should go. Have a good time. I had a great time on it. She's like, you should. I go, oh, they don't want me back in Washington.
Yeah.
Definitely not my daughter. So.
Yeah, nothing could top that experience that we did.
Yeah, I'm not going with a girl. I said, I went with some of the coolest guys, and we had a great time out there. I couldn't even imagine walking into town with 3 girls. Like, oh, my God.
Yeah.
Blow my brains out then. But.
Yeah. Well, I remember, I won't bring it up, but I remember a comment you made in one of the stores at one of the museums, and you walked in, all the moms were lined up, and you said something. You said
I'll
something.
remind you. I'll remind you Saturday. It's a fight. What you said. I was dying.
You said they had certain products in there, and certain toys in there. And they all just looked at you like this. You were just laughing just like that. Like the hell with it. But I'll never forget that. I got to play this comment.
This comment be able to be chaperones at your kids' field trips for a certain thing too.
Yeah. I got this comment earlier. So remember, Chris said hire the devil, or Satan. Nick said the devil would send this whole team to hell and start over. But anyways, always a fantastic time. So again, Champ, where can they find you again Saturday if they want to come?
Come on out to the Turner Club. It's in Talmadge, Ohio. It starts at 6 p.m. Things get nasty from the first match to the last match, and it's great independent wrestling, and it's cheap. You can get drunk cheap. You can get, like I said, you can find, there's a couple good-looking ladies, there's a couple toothless ladies, whatever. There's a whole bunch of ladies. I mean, it's
now. What are some of the undercard, Matt? You want to highlight some of those guys too in the other matches, real quick as well.
Yeah. So I don't know them all by heart, but I mean, honestly, there's not a bad match on this card. It's amazing from the beginning, and some of the stuff that these young guys now. I mean, just incredible craziness. And I thought I was crazy when I was young. These guys, I mean, they're doing all kinds of crazy stuff. I mean, from beating the hell out of each other with chairs and going through tables and all kinds of high acrobatic moves. And I mean, they're just way more talented. And you'll see it. There won't be a match. You won't be going, ooh, oh, shit. I mean, every damn match you're going to be like that.
All right. Well, there you guys go. Again, ladder match this upcoming Saturday down at the Akron Turner Club. Coach, if they want to get Champ, excuse me, if they want to, I still call you Coach. If they want to get tickets, where can they get them at?
Well, they can get a hold of me on Facebook, or they can go on. Is the site posted on the poster there?
Let me put a full screen for you. I don't see it on there. No, I don't believe this is the one you sent me.
You can just have them reach out to me on Facebook. I could send them a link, or you can go to RCW Wrestling They have a Facebook page as well. You can get tickets there.
You know the website? I could put on the screen.
I wish I did. I don't off the top of my head. I'm sorry.
All right, that's fine. Yeah, if you guys have any questions, just go ahead and hit John up on Facebook. Again, you see his name there, John Potok. So just go hit him up on Facebook. Go to his page. If you got any questions, or go to RCW page, like he said. And yeah, looking forward to it. That's gonna be a lot of fun.
Yeah, you guys have a great time, and I appreciate you letting me come on here and promote that. And as always, man, we are the greatest working together, all of us. I mean, it's been great.
Oh yeah.
Jersey's the man.
Yeah. Yeah.
Jersey.
Jersey.
But all right, Champ,
Turnpike.
Yeah, that's right.
yeah, Turnpike. Yeah. Oh boy. But all right, Champ.
We'll take them out like this. We'll take them out like this. Like, all right, we'll see you later in 3, 2. I mean, never mind. You do it your way.
I'll hit you up this week for those tickets.
All right, cool.
Yeah, and maybe Champ, when you get your win, we'll have you back up for your your post-fight interview. How about that?
Yeah, that'll be awesome. That'll be awesome.
Right, yeah, we'll do that. So we'll recap his victory because he's promising a victory. So
yep, guaranteed. No.
All right, thank you, Champ. We'll see you in the next one after your victory.
See you, man.
All right.
Good luck.
Thanks for having me, guys. All right. Bye.
Later.
Jersey, you want to tell everybody we need to like, subscribe, and share? A bunch of news viewers tonight, subscribers.
That's why right there. I mean, an old friend right there, John. It's all about entertainment here. It's about having fun. Let people just be themselves, and it's raw. And what else could you want? You know what I mean? So like it, subscribe, share it, and help us keep building it. And here, anybody else out there wants to come on? Anybody else has a topic they want to talk about? Here, hit Joseph up. He's willing to help everybody. That's his whole point of doing this. And everybody have a great week.
That's right. Like, subscribe, share all the good stuff. We'll see you guys next one. We're out of here. Go.